And
What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's Clash of Clans live stream. Very special one for you today. We have Elite Gaming versus WHF in the CWL Week 4 matchup, and we have a special guest from WHF, the very impressive CarbonFin. What's going on, my friend?
hello, welcome. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Trying to get everything set up here, and we should be good. I'm doing
Perfect,
great.
yeah.
It's gonna be interesting finish here for the war. Definitely very close, so definitely excited to see how it goes through.
It is. It's very close. So, guys, CarbonFin is also live over on Twitch as well. If any of you don't know who he is, does do YouTube nowadays as well, right?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, just kind of
Definitely.
started uploading more videos now in the last month and a half, so it's definitely been a lot of fun and combining that with streaming, so enjoying it a lot.
Definitely. So what we're going to do is a bit of a co-host commentary, a dual stream for you guys. We have the final 3 hours. Let's dive straight into it. So as you can see in terms of the stats we have on the screen are a little bit behind. Let me go ahead and refresh that and see if it pulls up. But basically, WHF have had 2 Town Hall 11 hits since then and have got the 3 stars. So you can see on the screen, they are 94 stars, whilst Elite Gaming are 96 and 2 attacks behind. Being from WHF, warring with these guys, Carbon, how do you feel right now your position is with WHF?
I feel with the amount of there's 3 unhit 11s, and we have about 3 or 2 11s to go. So I mean, it's looking pretty good, especially since we did just get that last 11v11. So I mean, there's not too many attacks across the board for each side, but depends. If we can get another 11v11, it can really put us in maybe a driver's seat. But who knows? Anything can happen with 11v11 or even dips. Dips are never guaranteed, so anything can happen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. I mean, from Elite
Oh yeah.
Gaming's point of view, we have 2 Town Hall 12s. We do have one of them already 3-starred, and then 4 Town Hall 11s. So with 5 attacks, the perfect war is not on for Elite Gaming, but certainly we could get one off it. You guys at WHF have an extra 12, but like you say, you do have some fresh bases to hit there. Less Town Hall 11s.
Indeed.
Perfect War is still on for you guys. What do you feel in that regard? I know that WHF, you got some heavy hitting 12s, yourself being one of them. What do you think in terms of that Perfect War?
Well, really, I'm not in, so we got so I'm sitting out this war, which would have been interesting to see if getting some hits off, but I definitely have confidence in ODB, Sir Longsword, and Wise Man kind of coming through. And there are only 2 Town Hall 12s left, so it can be very, very interesting if we ended up clearing. But I know Elite Gaming does like to get their attacks in early, and they do not necessarily always wait to the kind of the last second, which sometimes we do. So who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be
I do have faith.
interesting. And I have pulled up on my stream. I know that you're live as well, but on my stream, I've pulled up the stats from the previous wars. WHF obviously had the match with DLZ postponed, so you only have the 2 wars to go from here. But certainly what you can see is Elite Gaming slightly higher at 10v10, roughly the same at 11v11, but then WHF definitely has that better hit ratio at 12v12, and that is obviously where these matches are often decided.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it comes down to, I mean, I think there's the small difference, which ODB was hit for 52%, and we do have Foxy on your side. We did hit you for 53. So, well, both bases been 53%. So if we do get a 92% on the Town Hall 12, that could give us a good advantage right there based on percent if the Town Hall 11s do get cleared right there.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And there has been 2 Town Hall 12v12 attacks, one from Elite Gaming and one from WHF, actually against the same players. So why don't we go ahead and show them to the stream, and then we can jump in around the stats, the different wars. Obviously, them live attacks we'll be focusing on. Why don't we be nice? Why don't we go with WHF's 3-star first against DJ, and then we'll pop across and show DJ's 3-star attack against WHF. So what we'll do is dive into that in 3, 2, 1. Here we
All
go,
right, let's
guys.
go.
So I'll let you kind of take
All
the
right.
lead on this, Carbon, and then we can
All right.
obviously, chop and change between there.
Yeah. So as you can see, Wise Man's coming in here with kind of creating a funnel, and he wanted to get his wall wrecker and push his hero straight into the town hall. As since it is a max town hall level 5 for the town hall 12, with the Giga Bomb, it is absolutely critical to get that down so you do not have to deal with it. As you can see, he is doing a La Lune. Going to push his way through. The Queen's going to be dealt with by Skelly spell. So he's strictly gonna push his way into one, pull the CC, and get the town hall down. I know you've been trying to practice these type of hits, and so, and I don't know how some of the hits you did earlier, but those town halls can absolutely change the raids for sure.
It's
What do
interesting. What
you?
Carbon's talking about is obviously being the pro that he is. I asked him to spot my attack earlier whilst we were setting up the stream. I kind of went with his plan and then kind of went with my own, and I should have just fully went with Carbon's plan because I got the 89% 2-star, missed the
Oh,
queen.
you did.
But the reason I missed the queen is because there was a lava hound in the CC, and I put my skeleton
Oh,
spell in, not my skeleton spell, poison spell in too quickly. And the queen got hung up on the hound. But anyway, on this attack, that is exactly what I should have done. Rage and Skelly on top of the queen to get that dealt with.
yep.
Obviously, when she's smashing into the balloons, it's just good night, really, in terms of the lava loon. But I love the fact that he's got a heal spell coming through to the back end here with all this damage.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of damage to come, especially with the single target Inferno. At this point, you're probably thinking to yourself, you want to actually let the lavas pop so he gets the pups to kind of help clean up.
Yeah.
But I think he ended up having the 2 hounds at the very end as well. So he got so much value on that push, and then the Laloon through. It was wonderful by Wiseman getting this done. Beautiful
Yeah,
Lalo.
nice split on the balloons there at the end as well. Part of them just to come across to that wizard tower. But like you said, I don't think it would have mattered. He's got that lava loon and lava hound, sorry. And like you said, beautiful work to get that one done. And ultimately, I think you're right. It was that kill squad pushing in, getting that Giga Tesla and that massive value from the north that just helped the pathing of the balloons around the south of the base.
Yep. Yeah. He got so much value from that push, and it created pathing around, which you can see. And I believe because you don't have to end up killing the heroes, you can leave the heroes up. You just got to get all the defensive buildings, and then you can get the 3-star, which I just recently got. I left the queen up the whole raid, and she never died, but I ended up getting the 3 because I destroyed everything but her. I think that was in the last war against you guys, which was funny because we matched you guys in a friendly war, which we
Yeah, just
totally
this
did not
week, right?
expect. Yeah, just this week. We
Hence why
totally did
you're
not.
benched.
Yeah,
I'm
hence
kidding,
why
mate.
I'm benched.
I'm kidding.
But no, it was funny to see some of the CCs were a little had some wall breakers in there for like kind of
Oh, yeah.
making it for fun to see. Oh yeah, most likely we'll be having wall breakers in his CC when we face him this weekend. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely
So as you can see on Elite Gaming side, DJ did get the 91% 2-star on base number 1, but he did get the 3-star on base number 2. So why don't we jump across and watch that one whilst we're waiting of some lives to come in? So we'll replay that in 3, 2, 1. Off we go.
Let's go.
So looks like it's going to be a similar strategy here. I hadn't even watched this attack prior to the stream, but as you can see, DJ has them bowlers in the golem, and he's going to make a push from the south of the base. Kind of a similar strategy. Try and get that Giga Tesla down. It's obviously very detrimental to the balloons if you don't have that Grand Warden ability, but you can kind of see the value that he's going to get here. Into the middle, he's going to get that Giga Tesla, the Queen, CC, probably even get the Eagle Artillery there. Huge push, leaving the Lava Loon just for the back end of the base.
Yeah, and from earlier in this, he had a great scout from Town Hall 10 that hit the space. Actually, I believe kind of came with a similar entry, and that Town Hall 10 on this Town Hall 12 got, I think it was like a 71, 72% 2-star on it. So since he got so much value, pretty much knew that this base could get tripled by a 12 if a 10 can get pretty much that amount of percentage on it. But yeah, no, he does a great job. Kind of just like the previous hit. What Wiseman did is use the wall wrecker with Valks to take out the town hall and queen. I think he originally planned to have his queen push into the town hall and then also pick off the eagle and sweeper. And I think she walked around and wasn't on. That was not planned.
Yeah, when I first started commentating that attack, that's clearly what I think he was trying to do.
Hmm.
Worked out kind of nice with not having the lava loon cause him massive issues.
Yeah.
But the queen does pop it anyway, and he just has to adapt the deployment of the balloons. And obviously, you can see he is now sprinkling in a lot of other balloons to try and help get that expo, which they'd missed.
Hmm.
But getting to the final defenses, there's no splash or anything like that.
Yep.
So turns out quite nice there for DJ getting it done.
Yeah, and you can see he has the one final free spell left, and he can use it on the final archer tower and some trailing balloons. But yeah, there's no splash damage, so and they didn't group up, so they were able to take that down, and he ended up getting the 3-star. So very nice by DJ on this hit.
Yeah, and that definitely puts us in a great position for this war in terms of an exciting finish, which is what we love to
Hmm.
see. Um, you know, as we
Oh
mentioned,
yeah.
Elite Gaming, a couple of attacks more done at the moment than WHF, but we can still get one off the perfect, and it's
Hmm.
more just waiting to see over these final few hours as to exactly how these clans play it out. We're going to see some dip
Yeah.
attacks, and we're going to see some 12v12 attempts. It's really just who can get them in, basically.
Yeah, you just have to get the dips in. I think there's well, let's see. If you guys do get one more 11v11, that leaves 3 dips, and then you get one more shot and a 12v12 if you do get that 11v11. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be a very interesting finish, and which there's not too many attacks, so we should be able to catch them all and not have a lot of them kind of go at the same time. So it'll be interesting to see. Um, who decides to dip, who decides to go 12v12. I don't know how many people are in the voice chat right now, but it'll be interesting to see.
Oh
Can't
yeah,
wait
I'm
for
sure
it.
they're stacked in there as they will be with WHF, and I'm pretty
Oh
sure,
yeah.
obviously at the moment, both clans will be planning out them 11s. Whoever the 11s feel happy enough hitting
Hmm.
will be, they'll get first choice, because like you said, if they can get the triple on that, it obviously opens up the doors for them, them 12v12 attempts. How about we have a
Yep.
quick look at the other wars? Obviously, this is only one match within the league, and then we can kind of
Yep.
discuss how they're going and see how things are looking from there. So probably the most
Yeah.
exciting war for me is One Hive Genesis and DLZ. I think the semi-final match between these two last season was the best Clash of Clans war I've ever seen. What do you feel about these clans coming into this matchup?
So DLZs they always look wonderful, especially coming off the being the champions of last season, coming in undefeated right now. We were supposed to play them the other week. I think it was 2 weeks ago, just before this bye week. And but that got postponed, so we'll be facing them in about I think in November. So that'll be fun. But they did, I believe they won the CCL, which there was a no kind of there's no dips in that. So they definitely showed how strong they are coming into this season. And then we did play One Eye Genesis earlier, I believe it was week 1.
It was week 1, yeah, because it
So
was an
yeah,
incredible war.
yeah, and so that was a lot of fun, getting that victory there. And no, I mean, both very, very, very good clans, and it comes down to kind of I can tell right now that the 10v10 rate for DLZ right now is 20 for 37, and
Yeah.
that is really good. Definitely greater than 50% there, and so we'll see how they end up going with it.
Yeah, and
What are
if
your
I know
thoughts on it?
DLZ, they come out heavy towards the end, and like you said, they are just a force to be reckoned with. And Genesis, obviously, very, very impressive as well, only losing out to yourselves in week 1, and
Hmm.
what a war that was. I mean, it was a similar situation to this one where the 12s really had to
Hmm.
step up at the end and get it done. And I was talking to Corey the week after that, and again, massive congrats to you guys, because he really stepped up and got it done at the end of the war. The pressure on them, them final attacks must be just crazy. I mean,
Oh yeah.
being a part of these wars with WHF, what is that like at the end of the war?
So it's interesting because I've never been in CWL any league like Invite, Premier, Apex before, and so this is the first time I'm actually experiencing that. And as being a streamer, I tend to like to do my hits on stream. I know a lot of other streamers are they don't like that. They like to do it off stream. They don't like to have any kind of distractions, but for some reason it just helps me focus when I'm on stream, and then I could just I don't know, I just do a lot better. And so the first few weeks, those 2 weeks there, I did the hits on stream, and that was a lot of fun. Came down to the very end, those final attacks, but I mean, if you ever do get a chance and someone is looking to participate in, if it's not CWL or some other league, or definitely give it a shot because it can definitely improve your clashing ability. Just playing with better players, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, and just that thought process as well, bouncing ideas off of each other. So, yeah, I mean, it is definitely going to improve your game. Like you said, 10v10 hit rate there. DLZ is a bit better, and they are slightly ahead at 11v11 as well. But plenty of attacks left for both clans. So that one, you know, I'm sure we'll see an exciting finish. Only an hour and a half left on that one, so we should here with streaming the final 3 hours of this get to see a lot of these other wars come in as well. Another clan that I've been very much keeping an eye on, I think they're obviously a solid clan. Unfortunate last season is Legacy, who are up against Reddit Omega. And as you can see on the stats there, again, a close war. Reddit Omega actually ahead on 11v11, slightly behind on 10v10, but I'm sure if they pick up their hit rates higher up, they can obviously compensate for that. Have you faced any of these clans yet, WHF?
Let's see. Spartan's No, I've never faced Spartan's Legacy, but we did face Reddit Omega in a friend. No, I believe it was just was it a friendly match, or I think it was just a random midweek spin. But no, I have not faced any of these in competitive kind of competitive scene. So I know they're both very, very good.
Well, we have that final 11v11 coming in from Elite Gaming, so let's just see whether they can get this one done. Setting up the funnel on the right-hand side with the Queen now trying to come down towards the bottom, and we have that kind of Bowler Witch combination spreading in behind the Wall Wrecker. Interesting approach here. He's obviously trying to just get that funnel set, get the Bowlers and Witches down the left-hand side so that he can force that main group of Bowlers right into the middle.
Yeah, he does have all his troops on the board here. He's going to end up... He popped a Warden ability to get that wall record to get through that next layer of walls. So that's so he breaks through that. Very, very nice job there. It's gonna can he break through that next layer? And he does not. But the king should be able to break through there.
Yeah, the king fortunately got through there. Like you said, he kind of weakened it enough so that the king could quickly get through there. And I do like how much damage the bowlers are getting here. Just not able to bounce onto them archer towers on the back end, though.
Yeah, the Warden got picked off. Now the Golem is going to get picked off by the single target Inferno. He's running low on troops here. The Queen does still have ability, but not going to be able to get the rest of the space here. The healers aren't going to be able to do too much through that single target. So nice try, but he's going to fall short here. So these are going to have to be dips now, it looks like.
Yeah, and that does mean that we are going to be now basically 2 away from the perfect. We're not going to be able to hit another 12v12, which is interesting because of that percentage as well. It's obviously Elite Gaming going for the stars here, not thinking about percentage, because what they could have done is just take the dips and have the 11 try and improve the percentage on the 12, but obviously not in that frame of mind, going purely for stars, trying to maximize out stars, and I totally give them credit for doing that.
Yeah. So he's going to keep going with this attack, but even with Queen ability, he's not going to be able to clean us up. So he's going to try to pull as much as he possibly can in terms of any traps or anything, unless it's already been hit. Which
I mean, even time-wise, he's got 40 seconds, and there's no way he's breaking through into them compartments.
No, he's not breaking through all those walls, especially with that single target Inferno there. He's not going to be able to do it, but nice try nonetheless. And going to come down to the dips. The 12v11 dips are never guaranteed, so anything can happen. You don't get the Queen down. We
have seen that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's been a lot of times, if you come in with that Queen walk in those dips, it could backfire, and you took too much time. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, we've seen it happen, across a number of these wars. So like you said, anything could still happen. Obviously, WHF have the attacks in the bag, but that's just the case, though. They have to be able to execute them. It's not just having the attacks there. It's actually being to put them away to convert stars onto the board. So, interesting at this point. You've got to say, with them extra attacks, WHF probably in the driving seat, especially with 5 Town Hall 12 attacks. But, like you said, anything can happen at this point.
Anything can happen. Yep.
What do you feel now following that attack? 11v11, obviously now, Elite Gaming, let's see, the attack. It's only 52% on base number 3. So they're going to have to either get the 3 stars on that base in order to pick up the
Hmm.
percent and get that star as well, or just dip and leave it at that. What do you think in terms of WHF's position now after that last attack?
So it's really going to come down to if they're going to save an attack or not for the end here, or they're going to just straight up use them all before the kind of the final hour. It's because of the 52%, as you mentioned. As you can see, our number 4 has 89%. So it's going to come down to if it's going to be a percentage game. Do you go for going all out for the 3-star on ODB and number 3? Or you try to go for maybe an easier 3 dip on number 4, because it could come down to that percentage, as you said, 89 to a 53. Who knows? Or a 52, but who knows?
Yeah, I think that was the highest percentage. Yes, 89 is the highest
Hmm.
11 percentage. So, interesting stuff. Obviously, we do have 2 hours and 40 minutes left, and we have 7 attacks
Hmm.
from WHF, 4 from Elite Gaming. Why don't we jump on across to the other wars? We'll kind of introduce them, and then obviously, as the stream goes through, we can watch replays. We can do whatever you
Hmm.
want, really. I am conscious that you're live as well, but we do have an
Yep.
11v11 coming in from WHF.
Oh, there it is. I was
So
like, I thought I
Ram
saw
coming in
something.
against Judo. Looks like he's coming
All
in
right.
for the hog attack,
Oh,
but a
he's coming in on
beautiful
you.
selection of troops.
Yeah, so he does doing a queen walk hogs. I know this isn't you, but another judo in the clan. Um, but yeah, so he's gonna come across. He wants to get that queen to walk down south to 6 o'clock, using the baby dragon and to help funnel up top. That is a multi-target inferno, so he doesn't have to worry about it picking off his queen there.
Yeah, and he does have 10 wall breakers in the bag as well. So
Yeah.
interesting to see where he's going to come in from them with this. I thought he might have charged directly into that Inferno, but it looks like he's
Hmm.
actually going to use them on the south here, try and get them wizard towers, lure the CC, and push his way in that way.
Yeah, he wants to actually charge the queen in with the wall breakers and then use the wall wrecker to help tank for the
The Hog Riders.
kind of the hogs. And there's probably going to be max hogs in that wall wrecker to kind of continue through the base.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he has to somehow find a way to get that enemy queen down. So he's got to get that charge going. So he's testing out the wall breakers, getting the rage down to break through that next layer of walls, so that his queen can grab the enemy queen there. And there he goes. He breaks it. Nice job getting that.
Yeah, that was
Next, how
beautiful.
many
I
is
thought
that?
with the
Oh yeah,
CC troops, it might have caused him a bit of an issue, but beautiful stuff there.
yeah.
Like you said last
Yep,
time, though, it does often come down to time these attacks. I know he's still got
yep,
1 minute and 30 seconds left, but
yeah.
definitely
Usually
a
around this
quite a
time.
heavy queen
Mhm.
charge.
Yeah, you have to start your either loons or hogs or something right around 1 minute 40, 1 minute 30, 20, 1 minute 25 is pushing it. If you are, you have to get your cleanup down at the exact same time. Otherwise, you will time fail most likely.
Yeah,
Which
and
he did
interestingly
lose the
enough, the
queen there.
queen has gone down there as well, which could be
Yep.
costly. Just depends in terms of cleanup as well. He does have the healers, and at least the
He
warden is
does
going to
have the
swap
warden
onto the
ability,
hogs, but
and he does have warden ability too that he can push through. And healers are getting picked off by the seeking air mines though, so it's not looking too
yeah,
good. Pops the warden ability. Gonna drop poison on the king maybe, or did he
I
already
think he's
drop
just
it?
going to run out of hogs right towards the back end
Yeah,
here. They're nearly gone already.
yeah,
He's still got that heal
yeah.
spell, which he was obviously trying to save for the back end there, but it's not going to be enough to get it done, unfortunately, for
No,
WHF. And
no,
that
yeah.
clearly brings us into a tighter war, though.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. So Telegram not going to be able to get it done on this 11v11 attempt, but very nice try.
Interesting that it looks like he's going to snag that town hall as well, just in case we're looking at that percent.
Yeah.
But with 77, the 89%, even if Elite Gaming did go down that route, I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. Unless the wizard can finish off the base here with the one healer.
The wizard, the OP wizard, he can do it.
There we are then.
Nice try,
So
Tyler.
78%, very nice try, like you said. How many attacks is that now? That's 6 for WHF. 1, 2,
Yep,
3.
4 for Elite Gaming.
Yep. So they can still get the perfect war here.
Yeah.
If they get their attacks perfect from now on.
Well, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, anyone that is just joining the stream right now, we do have Judo Sloth on here. We're co-hosting this WHF versus Elite Gaming War. So welcome everybody tuning into stream. I believe Judo is streaming on YouTube and Twitch as well, if I'm correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Thanks for having me,
he's got the
Carbon.
dual stream going. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me as well.
No, it's great. I
Um,
mean, it's perfect, isn't it? You know, I obviously I don't compete with Elite Gaming. I know you compete with WHF, but ever since they joined the league, I've recapped and streamed. I think season 3 was when I started streaming, but I've always recapped since they joined. And being part of Elite Nation, obviously, I'm heavily involved with Elite Gaming, and you know, constantly, I get so amped. I can't even imagine from your point of view how you feel. Like, you know, if they take the loss, I am actually gutted, and then I'm properly amped on stream. Like last week was amazing, so I can't even imagine with you competing with WHF what that actually, you know, is like in itself.
Yeah, no, it's ever since I started streaming, I've always done my war attacks on stream, and when it comes down to the very end, I've always been the kind of towards the top for in terms of Town Hall 11s, and then since they would get their attacks in at the end of war, and then when Town Hall 12 came out, I went to Town Hall 12, and so I'm always been natural to attack at the end. So it came really down to either my hits or fellow kind of Town Hall 11 or Town Hall 12 hits. And getting those in at the kind of the final seconds on stream with everyone watching, there's no greater rush that you can get. It's wonderful. And because I'm always used to having an audience on stream watch, so I've got a lot of experience doing it, and I highly, highly recommend giving it a shot. Trying to do attacks on stream, it's always fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do my regular war attacks on stream, but you know, compared to CWL, that's a completely different game. I know we did look at a couple of the wars in terms of stats. We were looking at, you know, Spartan's Legacy before this. Definitely an interesting war. I wonder if for the people that are watching, whether we just kind of quickly go over the other ones before we check on some replays and let them see how things are going.
Do you guys have any preferences? I guess if they have any preferences in the chats to kind of recap or look at.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to maybe shout out a couple of the streamers. I'm not sure whether Halo is streaming the Spartan's Legacy or Reddit Omega, or if you know who is streaming that one.
I don't know.
But I don't think anyone is streaming this one, actually. I don't know if you have any suggestions in the chat, or why don't we just kind of move down to the next one, which is Clash Warriors and Crazy Monkey. This will definitely be a close war. You know, on the countdown show that I do with Adam, we did talk about how Crazy Monkey are fantastic at 10v11, but they just struggle at Town Hall 12, and you can see that prevalent at the moment, equal on attacks. Interestingly, Clash Warriors actually slightly ahead at 11v11, but they've got them 3 12v12s in already, and there's only 4 in the breakdown. Definitely on for a perfect war and a massive lead, you've got to say, at that point.
Yeah, Clash Warriors are looking good with the 3 for 4 12v12s. Trying to see 10v10, pretty much identical. What's the breakdown? Did they dip? See, Crazy Monkey also missed one 11v10 dip, so that's gonna come back to hurt them there. They don't have too many hits, but they can still, with the attacks remaining, I think they can still see what they can do. But there's 6 Town 12 hits, so it's gonna come down to kind of the Town 12 game. And can't fail any more of the dips, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting to see how that turns out. It looks like it's around about the same. It should finish a little bit sooner than this war, but Clash Warriors definitely in the driving seat for that one. In terms of JOF versus Buy Forever, obviously, you know, we don't need to talk about the controversy of the league and things, but JOF getting the victory last time over Art of War, which was a fantastic victory for them. Looking like this is a close matchup as well.
Yeah, this is a very close matchup. As you can see, JOF has the kind of one more Talent 12 with one less hit used, or Talent 10v10. They are 25 for 42 versus Buy Forever's 24 for 43. But yeah, JOF did clear 10s with 10, so that's impressive. Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
That one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, similar breakdown to the last war. Haven't got onto the 12s yet, so that's ultimately where it comes down to. But I think this season, Buy Forever have been incredibly strong. I knew they'd kind of picked up their game before they came into the league, but they've been putting up some fantastic stats, and obviously I wish them the best throughout the league. I think Lady B was going to be streaming the end of this one over on Twitch as well.
Yeah,
So
I believe she is. She does great work with kind of the Buy Forever family, and I think she's
and
streaming for
J
both
off, she
J
does
Off
for
and
both. Yeah,
Buy
yeah.
Forever. Yeah, so it's kind of now she's just got to
Interesting one for
pick which
her.
one to. Yeah, right. To face it off
Yeah,
head to head. So very interesting.
definitely.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
that was
it's always, I respect any clan that is competing in the league, and I
mhm,
wish them the best of luck. But clearly, against any clan, I'm going to be rooting for Elite Gaming. That's kind of how sports work and things, isn't it? But obviously
yeah,
for Lady B, difficult one there. I'm sure she'll be happy for both clans.
yeah. So
So I
she
have actually clicked on my stream on Genesis and Dark Ludus again,
okay.
but there doesn't look like there's been too much progress on there at the
Yeah,
moment. Dark Ludus
yeah.
definitely in the driving
Same.
seat in terms of 11v11 though.
Yeah, definitely got three more 11s, but Genesis has used three less 11v11. So unless they can go 3 for 3 in the next one to tie that rate up, who knows? But that did they do? Yeah, so they are 5 for 5 for the dips, 11v10. So that's good. They didn't fail any dips, but man, it comes down. It's crazy how much the 10v10 game can dictate the outcome of the wars. Because you pretty much can't leave any tens up. If you do, you're pretty much going to lose the war if there's a talent 10 that's not 3 star.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then there's
Hmm.
only one other war that's going on in Invite, which is Gehazi Bomber versus War Whales. And this is an interesting one because Gehazi Bombers, being from Japan, often get their attacks in very early. And, we're talking about percentage with the Elite Gaming and WHF war. They often
Hmm.
leave themselves susceptible to where the enemy clan can just calculate where they need to. I think it was week one. I can't remember who they
Hmm.
faced. It might have even been Clash Warriors. Basically, hit up, left an 11, hit up to the 12 in order to get that percent. They got it done and got the victory purely because they knew what percentage they needed to hit. So, what do
Wow.
you think about this one at the moment with Gehazi Bomber and War Whales?
Yeah, so with just under 3 hours to go, because the Bombers do have 4 12s left. Trying to see. So, wow, the 11s cleared the 11s. So that's very good. And then, so now they just have Talent 12. Uh, that's all they got to do. So, unless they can go for the perfect, pretty much. They have 4 attacks for three bases left, pretty
Yeah,
much. That's what it looks
yeah.
like. Wow.
They're still on for them. War
Yeah.
Whales, though, we know how fierce of a competitor they are. So,
Yep.
going to be interesting finish on that one as well. And it looks like that
Very
one does
interesting.
actually finish after the Elite Gaming and WHF war. So,
Yeah. So that'll still be going. I don't know if there is at least I'm not seeing like a dedicated streamer for either one of these clans on Twitch. I don't know if there is on YouTube, unless you might know.
no, I don't think. I think, especially with the CWL, I don't think there's many. I know there's a couple of people dual stream. Like Adam
Hmm.
is covering the. Well, he's actually covering this war and the DLZ
Yeah.
and One Hive Genesis war.
Hmm.
And I know he dual streams, but I can't think of anyone else that streams on a consistent basis on YouTube. I think it all does tend to be on Twitch for the CWL.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, I wonder whether we dive into a couple of replays just to kind of pick the action
Hmm.
back up a little bit. We've obviously talked about the wars there, and then do you have a specific replay? Do you think you want to? Have you seen many of these?
Um,
Have you got a chance to watch them, or are
not
these
not
kind of?
too. I haven't seen too many. They're kind of going to be new. Definitely don't want to miss that live. So keep an eye out for those. If anyone does see a live kind of pop off, let us know if we miss it. But this is nice that we have two people kind of keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Why don't we pick an
so
11v11 for each clan? So
okay.
we've obviously got a couple we can choose from there. Should we go for Zeus or JT from WHF on Elite Gaming?
we can start with Zeus. That works.
That
Work our
was
way down.
Zeus.
All
Lexagram.
right.
Okay. Three,
Yeah.
two, one. In we go.
Play. All right. Ah, the space. Yes. I remember
This
Lex said
base.
this was a very interesting base that he saw. It was very interesting. He had the eagle kind of in its own compartment over there, but
Yeah.
very nice job. Decided not to do a queen walk. He sees the value that he could push straight into with this wall wrecker to push into this base to get the queen, and there's a lot of splash damage to where he can grab and the CC. So great value of pushing into this way. Nice funnel
Yeah,
and
because
keep
it
pushing in.
almost looks like he's trying to defend the Lava Loon here with the
Hmm.
multi-infernos and the air defense all together, but then obviously he has the
Yeah,
splash damage all in one area that Lexagram obviously
yeah.
takes advantage of in this attack.
Yeah, so he ended up using the Warden ability early strictly to let that wall wrecker push his way through. It wasn't necessarily to protect the heroes or protect anything that was in it, but he wanted to get that double layer wall break to push deeper into this base to get access to the other air defense, get access to the sweeper or whatnot. But he still came from around 9 o'clock and worked his way clockwise around the base.
Yeah, interesting. Obviously comes out in behind that air sweeper in the center and
Hmm.
going to be able to attack the eagle pretty early on, and then
Hmm.
he's going to have to be spell heavy in that area where the multi-infernos and the air defense are, obviously, but I'm sure he had that
Yeah.
planned. He got so much value from the queen at the bottom there, he can afford to basically put in his spells at the top and basically just rush over the top of all of that damage.
Yeah, it's very interesting. He chose to put two multi-target infernos pretty close, like almost right next to one another. He could have, I think, frozen both of them at the same time if he wanted to. But it's very. I've not seen this base style before, really, in CWL, where two infernos are that close to one another. Normally, I see the bases more spread out.
Hey, sometimes you got to try these things, right?
Hey, you never know. Kind of throw him off, but he gets it done and has it. Sweeper left. That's not going to really do much to him, and it's just a matter of cleanup at this point.
Yeah, and he has a lot of troops left over as well. He still has that balloon which he can use to just hit on the storages or wherever he needed, but honestly, not going to need it really as he getting through the end of this attack.
Yeah, yeah, and just a matter of cleanup. And very nice job by Luxagram here, getting it done. Beautiful. Let's see how many people are in the voice. I think it's probably starting to fill up with people. Let's see what we got.
Getting down to the end of it. So I think what we'll
Uh,
do next is jump
a handful of
across to the other side and basically, well, we might as well show the attack against the other player. Zeus actually took out Lexagram,
them. Oh,
so we might as well jump on that
revenge.
one and see that 11v11, yeah.
Yeah.
Revenge at its
Go ahead.
finest. So this one is, again, quite a customized army. It is a lava loon based attack. But he does have a couple of extra troops here and there in order to help with funneling and, clean up naturally. Coming in with that battle blimp, gonna be able to take out that single inferno and that section there, and also lures the CC ready for what looks like a Sui hero method here.
Hmm. Yeah, and so this Sui blimp I use quite a bit to pull the CC, and the biggest thing is in these attacks you have to get the pathing down, and so that's what he does. He accomplishes taking out a section of the base which has the single target inferno, and then it gives him the ability to then fly directionally with the balloons to where he wants to go, since he grabs that and takes that down. So very nice job of using the blimp there, and
Yeah,
then.
definitely. And he's going to get
Mhm.
decent value over on the west of the base here, taking out that Tesla farm, going to be able to get an air defense as well. And like you said, just stripping off defenses really to help the pathing
Mhm.
to come right through the middle of the base. And, narrowing that path like that with all of the spells left over pretty much, it is,
Mhm.
it's going to be no problem for the Lava Loon at this point.
Yeah, and so let's see which way he decides to come in at the base. So he decides to come from the top side where there's heavier air defenses up top, and then usually you always want to take usually in this instance, the Ward on Air, so that you can just protect as many balloons as you can with the Warden ability, pushing his way through the core. Does have that raid spell, which he hopes for the Queen to jump in there, and then he's going to drop the Skelly spell, and then pop the Warden ability so the Skellies are invincible, and the Queen goes down pretty quickly.
Yeah,
So
interesting, like
that's
you said, with the Warden's ability on the Skellies there, because that is
mhm,
crucial to get that Queen down, especially with so many other defenses that were crucial in that area. Obviously, he does
mhm,
have the heal spell for the balloons as well, and then coming to the back here, he's got just so many balloons left over in order to take down this final defense, and then clean up it is. Interestingly, there are
yep,
stuff spread right around the base. Could have saved a balloon or two to help out with that, but he does fortunately have a bit of a split for the balloons to get onto them
mhm.
storages.
Yeah, so he gets a split at the end and just a matter of timing and no, it was a nice attack. Took advantage of kind of what the base gave him, flying through. When you're kind of trying to defend now against Lava Loon, you gotta try to think of if they're gonna sui a blimp somewhere, do you put some seeking air mines where you think they would, and then to kind of pick that off and make it harder. I know I've done that before, and I put some seeking air mines where I thought they would drop a blimp to sui a section, and they did just that, and it picked it off instantly, and they weren't able to get the balloons or a Valk deeper into the base where they planned it, and it totally messed up the raid.
Yeah,
So you
that's
got to kind of,
interesting.
hmm yeah.
That
So
actually happened to
usually,
me not that long ago as well.
yeah,
On one of my multiple fails, which
yeah.
I
Unless
often
you have it
have.
scouted, yeah, it can be very frustrating.
Um, how about we jump onto some Town Hall 10 now then? We'll
Yeah.
maybe pick one attack from either side again, and we'll just kind of do that until we're waiting of lives, and we'll keep checking in on them other wars as well. So I'll let you randomly choose a one here from WHF, and
Yeah.
then again we'll have a watch of one from Elite Gaming.
So let's go ahead and take a look at. I think did I see one of these that I liked? That was a dip right there, so we don't need to show that. Let's go ahead and show Dauntless Dial on number 15, Sawyer. So let's go and take a look at that.
Yeah.
All
So
right, so we'll play in 3, 2, 1, go. And so this one is interesting. He doesn't. You'll notice that he doesn't have a skelly for the queen. Um, but essentially, what he wants to do in this one is use that blimp, which there's got to be a dragon in there to take that queen down.
yeah.
Otherwise, that queen's going to stay up. So a Sui drag loon to push in and get also take out a nice section of the base here.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit fortunate with the sweeper as well. The dragon got kind
Hmm.
of pushed to the side, but he just about nicked that queen, which is, like you said,
Hmm.
exactly what he was trying to get from that blimp.
Yep.
Had that had just been out of range, it obviously might have been a different story, but obviously attack a plan for it, uses the Sui method over on the kind of western side of the base, and then again can just use all of the spells onto the lava loon down the bottom here. Very nice use of the blimp, definitely.
Oh yeah, and then just pushing his way from the bottom up through the base. And I think the queen ended up staying up for this raid here, and just helping cleaning up while the balloons are moving through. So nice job by Dial. It's not a typical kind of raid where you see kind of just attack the whole bottom side at once to push in, but hey, he had the lavas protecting him as he flew through and was able to get it done.
Yeah,
Nice job
definitely.
by Dial. And then as I'm doing this, I'm trying to think, oh, which attacks got to be recapped? Which ones are the best ones? It's got to keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
so just kind of relooking at the stats there of Elite Gaming. But what we'll do is jump back onto a 10v10 from the Elite Gaming side. Then we'll just kind of take our time with the replays. I think as one of the people in my chat just mentioned, there's 2 hours and basically 4 attacks from Elite Game and 6 from WHF.
Yep.
So we're not in a rush here. We can kind of sit and
No.
have a bit of a chat and move through the attacks just nice
Yeah.
and nice
Plenty
and
of
easy.
time with not too many attacks. Normally, I'm the one who, and a lot of people have like grilled me on this, where I have 2 attacks and there's still like 30 minutes left. There's only 30 minutes left and more. I've done it
Gem
many
it.
times where I'm attacking in the fight. I've done it where I think I had, what was it, 4 attacks in 20 minutes. And I did them. I was like, I had to do all of them, like 1 attack every 5 minutes on stream, and it was not a friendly war, so you had to like either had it boosted and have it ready to go right away, or man, those are nerve wracking,
Yeah, that's
especially when you
rough.
do those.
From Elite Gaming then, I was actually, I was just about to say let's have a watch of Judo's attack, but then I noticed Corey's base just above there, base number 18. So why don't we have a look at Teddy attacking Corey, base number 18?
Take a look at your mic was jumping in and out there. Which one was that?
Base number 18
Base number 18.
against
Okay.
Corey. Is the microphone corrected? I know we had a couple of issues before stream.
Yeah, no, it's fine right now.
Okay,
That's good.
awesome.
It was just before. All right,
So
number
we'll
18.
dive into that one. 3, 2, 1. Teddy up against Clash with Corey. Any of you guys that don't
Yeah.
know Corey, smack it in YouTube.
Got a
Clash
burner
with Corey,
state.
great guy. So it does
Yeah,
look like it's
he's
going to
a
be that
wonderful guy.
frozen witch style strategy, coming in with the witches
Yeah.
near the top there. Able to kind of nicely, the way the base is designed, come down the side and snipe off some of them defenses. But ultimately for me, it's kind of been a combination of things that have made this attack strategy usable, in that of, the single infernos now being pretty much the meta, the wall wrecker allowing you to get through the base and the skeletons to be able to get to the defenses, and then the freeze spell as well, getting that change to only one spell slot has really made this attack viable for me.
Yeah, I've never done a frozen witch attack before, which I believe this is, or close to it. But then he has the healers to come down after he picks off those air defenses to heal up the witches and make sure they continue to stay healed as they move around the base. But hey, he got it done on this base, pushing his way through. I think the biggest key when you're doing this attack is keeping that wall wrecker alive for as long as possible, because you need those boulders to provide that skip damage, which they're getting tons of value with right now.
Yeah, definitely. You do that with the free spells onto the single inferno, like you said, for the wall wrecker, and then depending on how the base looks in terms of the splash damage as well, you often see people taking as many as 7 free spells for this, just to hit them splash damage and protect the skeletons as well coming through. But like you said, when them air defense that went down, just bringing in them healers, really just for the back end there, you do see the witches do tend to fizzle out towards the end of the attack, so that was a nice touch to bring in the healers just to help out towards the end.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to be careful if they like transition or move off the witches if they were at full health or something. But he ends up getting it done. Has about, let's see, there's one, two, or about 4 witches here at the end still up with some wizards and the queen. So very nice job getting right through the base. Saw that the town hall was at the bottom. You can just use the wall record from 12 all the way to 6. So very nice job by Teddy here.
Yeah, beautiful attack. Beautiful. So anyone that is just joining, will maybe reintroduce the stream. Obviously, those of you that are watching on my channel, you know who I am, Judo Sloth. I have with me CarbonFin, who is live as well over on Twitch. And we're basically bringing you the final 3 hours or 2 hours, 15 minutes now of Elite Gaming versus WHF.
Yeah. So let's see. I see you've got a question. Here's a question for both of you. Would you accept Town Hall 10s having access to the Warden max level 5 if it meant having 50% reduction of heal spells under Infernos? So you're talking about a kind of a change to the game. So you're saying if in an update, Town Hall 10s get the Warden, but it can only go to 5. So you have that ability.
I can answer pretty quickly on that, in that I think that would not be a good idea. I actually think Town Hall 10 balance is pretty good where it is right now, and the reason Supercell removed the heal effect from the Infernos is, believe it or not, it was too complicated for people, which I know that might sound crazy to some people, but clearly for a lot it was complicated, and I think then transitioning that to 50% instead of either it does or doesn't heal, that's even more complicated. So that's definitely not what they would be doing. In terms of balance, I don't even think it needs it either. I think Town Hall 10 is great where it is. I don't know how you feel about that, Carbon.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the stats here on the right for the 10v10 across the league for invite. Right now, the 10v10 rate is at 49%, so it's just under 50. That's for invite. So if you're looking at the average players, it's probably not even half that. But I know Supercell definitely wanted to get that kind of that hit rate up and get more 3 stars in the kind of the game, because I know a lot of people have complained about that not being able to 3-star at their town hall level. And so, but right now for 10v10s, it is at 49%, but fresh 10v10s, it's at 45%. So it's pretty close right there. And yeah, I don't know if kind of doing that, obviously making that change, that hit rate would go down because of the heal spells. But I don't know if it would be countered with having a Warden level 5, if that would increase or decrease it. I have no idea. It'd be interesting.
I think it would, I mean, especially with that ability, maybe Warden level 1 might, but I still don't think it's needed, but that might be even better warranted, because at level 5 you have that ability to, you know, I just think that would be way too much at Town Hall 10. I don't think it's warranted. That's just my opinion. I know, you know, there'll be a lot of different things, but Supercell do have the stats on things, and I know they They have a tough position in terms of
Oh,
we
we
have a
got
live
live.
coming in, Carbon.
Yeah.
So let's get back on that afterwards. But looks like it
Yep.
is a 11v11 attempt for yourselves. Why
Yep.
don't you start this one off
Mhm.
for us?
All right, so we got another Graham coming in. They're all the Tau 11s for WHF have Graham at the part of the end of their name. So what he's coming in, he's going to kind of try to repeat the previous hit, which was on this, which was the Queen walk into hogs. But he's
Yep.
choosing not to bring wall breakers in this attack. So that is a difference that you can see. And he's choosing to bring the Warden to follow with the Queen. He's probably going to push the wall breaker to push all the way through the base and get that Queen going.
Yeah, so exactly. He's just deciding to switch the wall breakers for more hog riders, basically, and then use the wall wrecker in itself to get through the base and provide that opening that he needed. And hopefully, they'll be hoping that the queen stays alive on this one. I think that was a big factor last time, her going down. And if the wall wrecker can
Yeah.
get further through so she can get more value, that could
Yeah.
very well be the difference they're trying to make.
Yeah, you're going to see in the king his ability here. So he takes it down and helps get that queen to push directly into the core here. The king's going to get redirected to the middle because of these archers here. If that wall wrecker can bust those walls to let the king, yep, there it is. So very nice job of that wall wrecker getting that splash, I guess, getting those walls down. And the queen cannot go down. So he's got to keep that queen up to be able to pick off all that. So he drops the rage spell. He's going to get a lot of value off these Valkyries here.
Yeah, definitely. And you can just see how the queen can now slot into that little pocket. She's got the healers there. The queen is already down. This is looking like so much more of an effective attack. And interestingly enough, despite taking out more of the base, the Hog Riders are in quicker than they were last time, which is crazy.
Which is, yeah, it's very important. And then maybe his warden jumps over to protect those hogs there. Let's see.
Doesn't know what he
Pops the
wants to
queen
do.
ability to get that king down. Oh, all right. So he's got,
She's
okay, the
stuck on a
warden
wall.
did just transition, pops the warden ability. So this is looking good for these hogs here to kind of tank the shots. Gonna drop the last heal spell by the multi-target Inferno. There it is. Looking good. There is that small Tesla field up top. Let's see what happens. The queen is still up, but the healers there are going to keep these hogs up. So that's looking really
That's the
good.
difference.
Yeah, I think big, huge difference right there. So that 45 seconds, that looks like that's going to be another
Crushed.
11v11. Very
Yeah,
nice
that
job.
is huge for WHF as well. Like you said, the healers switching across to the hogs there made a massive, massive difference just to help get that Inferno Tower. Had they not have done that, it might have been pushing it on time. But as you can see, beautiful adjustments and yeah, massive congrats to that on WHF. I always love to see when attacks haven't quite gone right and just tweaking the plan, and you could see straight away what was done there in order to make it more efficient. And wow, beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful job making that adjustment from getting, because the queen ended up staying before in the previous raid. The queen went down, and she
I'll
wasn't
stick
able
it on
to
in a
pick
replay in
off
the
all that.
background while we're talking about it again.
Yeah, so it was, the difference of that was definitely the queen staying up versus the previous hit, which is when the queen went down. Let's see what that does to the hit rate then. So that
Let's have a look at
puts
that.
us at 6 for 10, 11v11s. And Elite Gaming is 4 for 13. So 11v11 is definitely where we're making the difference right there. So that every single 11, I think, do we have another? That was our last 11, so now it's going to come down to the dips.
So you still have the opportunity of the perfect, really, with the dips and with the 12v12. So it is going to come down to them 12v12, and it's going to be interesting to see how Elite Gaming adapt. And like we said, they went purely for stars, missed out on that 11v11, and that 53% on the Town Hall 12 is going to be a huge factor in this. And I think they're probably going to have to leave an 11 to jump up and try and maximize percent. But again, that's where holding the attacks towards the end to see how you guys do and whether you actually convert and get the stars is why clearly clans do that.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to see how they decide to come at the very end with these hits. Really think that it's going to be a big difference if to me, if I was in their shoes, definitely have to go for the percentage game, because if it's going to come down to the stars there, think that we should be able to get those dips, hopefully. And then it's going to come down to we'll have 2 extra, or that could be 3 now. We have
I think that'll
5
be three. I
attacks
think you
left.
only have three
3
bases
12v12s.
to 11 bases left to take out.
Yeah, so we'll have 3 12v12 attempts for 2 bases. So we definitely have to at least hit one of the bases for at least 92% to get above that percentage. Or obviously, got to try to go for the 3-star as much as possible. But we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah, it's
happens.
interesting going down to them 12v12s, man. I mean, that's ultimately where it happens. And I know even last season, WHF at 11v11 were always strong. You guys were always strong at that higher level. I remember I actually caught the end of it as well. It was after the Elite Gaming stream, and King of the North streamed the final part of Views versus, might have even been By Forever, actually. Who was it? When you got the perfect and you just had them 11s just coming in one after another at the end. It was beautiful to watch. It was a great stream.
Yeah. And now getting that perfect after the update with the Siege Machine is not as impressive as before, because the Siege Machine kind of changes all that. So you see a lot more perfect wars, a lot higher, like pretty much one away from perfect wars nowadays.
Yeah.
So if you're within, well, what are we running at 35? You're 35. So, but yeah, I mean, if you're pretty much more than 5, 6 stars away from kind of the perfect, you're gonna have a hard time winning the war nowadays.
Oh yeah, definitely. Why don't we quickly have a look at some of the other wars whilst we're waiting for some lives?
Yeah.
Hopefully, War Match has kind of kicked itself in with a couple of these matches now. So, Legacy versus Reddit Omega. Looks like Reddit Omega have managed to convert a 12v12. How crucial could that be? 12 attacks left per side. And like we said earlier, Spartan's Legacy with a slightly better 10v10, but Reddit Omega have a better 11v11 and now have converted a 12v12, so looking good for them.
Yeah, that is looking good. Getting a 12v12 is huge, especially when you're 1 for 1.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm assuming it wasn't fresh. It was probably hit by a 10. But yeah, no, getting those 12v12s is absolutely critical to not only changing the outcome from kind of swinging the war to getting the confidence, and it lets everybody else kind of use that momentum to hit, let's say, 11v11s or finish off the 10s. But Reddit Omega did have to dip 9 times on the 10. So they did go 9 for 9. So gotta give them that.
Yeah, definitely. So it looks like they have, let's see, 6 more Town Hall 11s that they'll need to clear. I know they still have 5 attacks, so they really need to try and convert them to like we said, prevent the dip attacks.
Yeah.
But having one of them 12s in the bag is certainly great, and going to be an interesting one. Spartan's Legacy, definitely no joke. They have them attacks, and certainly we know they're capable of converting them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's gonna be really fun. I don't know who. Let's see if we go to the matchups of who next week of what, the 19th or the 12th. Is okay, yeah, because you guys play Elite Game plays J off, and then WHF we play Crazy Monkey, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting for that. Okay, got it. And then
Speaking
Spartan
of
Legacy
Crazy
plays
Monkey,
Fly
though,
Forever.
this is interesting. Going back to their war,
Yeah.
we were seeing how they are solid at 10v10, 11v11, but in previous weeks have struggled at 12v12. Look at that now. They've converted 2 12v12s in the time that we've obviously looked at it previously. And we'll come back to it, in fact, because we have a live coming in from WHF.
We do.
So yeah, let's come back to that. So it is a dip attack, like you said, and you know, if you guys can get them done, then you're in for a couple of good 12v12 attacks.
Yeah, so ODB, she is probably has a spot. She's not normally a air attacker, but I have full confidence in her that she can do this.
Just misses that wizard tower with the balloons, but I think the baby dragon will turn and
so there is
take
the lava
that out
hound
in a second.
So that's going to be interesting. That's going to slow down the push here with the queen, but the Valkyries make a huge difference to get that enemy queen down, and all that value right there. Very nice job. the baby dragon's going to pull Seeking Your Mind right there. And then the queen pops the lava.
Oh yeah, and like you said there, with the Valkyries getting the queen, it just gave her that little bit extra safety net, shall we say, in case the queen, for whatever reason, really struggled with the Lava Hound. The Valkyries already had significant value there, and as you can see, Lava Loon portion is now coming in from that side. Queen didn't actually get too much more value.
Yeah, so the warden, hopefully the warden doesn't stay with the queen. Sometimes that happens. The warden likes to stick with the heroes if the heroes don't go down and they're in the path of the warden. But it's looking good for ODB pushing her way through this base here.
Oh yeah, this is looking incredible. Coming to the back end with the warden's ability, obviously now just pressed a heal spell and 2 haste for the back end here. Oh, yeah. I think this is definitely going to be a 3-star for you guys.
Yep. Very nice.
Look at that queen just soldiering on. She's got the tiniest little bit of health. She's just going and going. Now she finally goes down. But like we said, 3-star all day long.
Very nice. Getting it done. Beautiful pathing, pushing it. Even though it is a dip, still gets it done.
Yeah, still has a hound as well, which I thought the Archer Tower was going to pop at the end just to kind of put the cherry on top and have the pups really help to clean up. But,
she
devastating
that. Hastes. Yeah.
There's actually 2 hounds there as well.
Yeah, 2 hounds and 2 hastes and 47. So yeah, plenty of time. That's going to be a 3.
So that is now, we will double check, but that is now only 2 Town Hall 11 bases left for WHF to take out. Then it's just the 12s. So you still have the opportunity of getting the perfect. I know I keep saying it, but actually you only have 1 Town Hall 11. I miscalculated. So you only have one left to take, and 3 Town Hall 12s and 4 Town Hall 12s, sorry. 4 Town Hall 12 attacks.
Well, there's 4 Town Hall 12 attacks. And so one of them will be used, so that means we'll have 3 Town Hall 12 attacks for 2 Town Hall 12 bases.
Yeah. So that means, let's think about this. You, basically, Elite Gaming have got a 91% up on base number 1. We now have to leave an 11 and go for the 3-star on base number 3. If we get that, we then leave a 91 and presumably an 89% on the board. So that's going to be very interesting coming down to this. Obviously, you've got your 12v12 hitters. Decent percentage, but wow, it's always interesting coming down to these final moments.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see. So it's just Fog and Foxy are the only 2 left. They both have both of their hits left. DJ already did use 1, or both, and he did get the triple on Wise Man. Close on Sir Longsword.
Yeah, definitely. So it'll just be who basically takes the dips and who decides to go for that 12. I'm sure that's what they're trying to analyze. Who feels most confident going after that 12? Who feels confident going after the dips? And it will be base number 4 that we have to leave in order to maximize on percentage.
Yeah, I mean, they can't overthink the dips first, so...
yeah, like you said, it's dip fails, they happen, and we see them on streams and things towards the end as well, and anything can still happen. Let's leave it at that. We got 2 hours left, and guys, you're going to want to stick around for this, because although there's only 8 attacks, they're going to be waiting till the last second, and it's always crazy. I always enjoy these wars where they do come right the way down to it. But let's go back to what we were discussing in terms of Crazy Monkey and Clash Warriors. That has really kind of changed since the start of the stream when we looked at that, in that Crazy Monkey have them 2 Town Hall 12v12s now.
Yeah, they got the 2 for 4 12v12, so that could... I wish there was like a feed that Supercell allowed you to do. Like you can have just a feed in the war, just maybe kind of look inside, but obviously can't do that. This is kind of the next best thing that we have through War Match. But yeah, no, 2 for 4 versus Clash Warriors is 3 for 5. And it was funny enough, we did play Clash Warriors week 2. And that came down to the very, very end, the final hits. And yeah, no, it was really fun warring with them as well. But we did edge out the victory. Percentage, we did tie. I think it was 118, 118. But yeah, no, I mean, it literally comes down to the final hits. And that's what makes these wars so much fun.
Oh yeah, especially when it gets to the point where even on them final hits, you have one clan going at one base, another clan going at another. The war's already ended in essence. It's just when these two final attacks go in, and the war is decided on them two attacks.
Oh yeah.
And although the wars are incredibly close right now, and I do think that balance at Town Hall 12 needs to be tweaked a little bit. I think they're just too close. It does make for exciting wars coming down to the end. It really does.
Oh yeah, it makes for very, very exciting wars. And then especially for myself,
Yeah.
if I have an attack or two at the very end, it's just like, okay, gotta focus and gotta say, all right, just keep everything out of my mind and just focus on the attack, and hopefully I get it. Just can't overthink it.
Yeah, I mean, what I was going to ask is it nice to have a bit of a break from that kind of just constant grind that you go through in terms of the CWL? I don't think people realize, especially in Invite, the amount of time that you guys put in. However, you guys at WHF have, well, yourself, Carbon, you've now had 3 weeks off, correct?
Yeah, I had the Dark Looter Z week, which got postponed. Then had last week that bye week, and then myself not being in this, so that's 3 weeks off pretty much.
So let's flip that question. How do you keep yourself focused then within that time? How do you keep yourself ready for competition?
So I guess, I mean, it would essentially be treating each matchup, each war as like competition of like a CWL caliber type war, which when we do spin the wars during the week now, we do match a lot of these kind of invite clans because they're running around, they're spinning at the same time, similar breakdowns. So we do tend to match them. So you just got to kind of think of that and kind of do your best for each attack. And usually for those wars, usually kind of it's not no dip, but it's not like they're taking all too serious of just go ahead, kind of get the practice for 12v12s, but also try for the win as well. So, I mean, doing it on stream helps all the time of doing attacks and kind of under pressure to keep my kind of abilities up. It is a lot.
That's really interesting. That is really interesting because we had a discussion. We have a live. We'll come back to it. Foxy taking that dip. I love how we're both just on point. We got a live.
you gotta interrupt the other to make sure we catch that live.
So coming in with a couple of balloons to try and just snipe off them mortars. Missed the one on the left-hand side, but just setting off kind of traps alongside that as well. Battle Blimp coming in, again, just sniping off that area, taking out the Inferno Tower, Wizard Tower, and also getting the CC Lure. Is he going to get the Expo? Doesn't look like he's going to. Haste actually pushes the balloons back onto it, and that is crazy clutch. The Air Sweeper pushed the balloons into the Haste, which got the job done. Crazy.
Yeah, so he drops the minion there to help pull the baby dragon and the witches so the skellies don't go. So beautiful job on the timing of getting the witches in, because a lot of people struggle of killing witches with the poison because witches are so slow. The baby dragon will outpace it, and you drop the poison on the baby dragon. No, you always have to save the poison for the witches because that's the most important thing to take out. You can always take out the baby dragon with your queen or something to pick it off. That's pretty easy. But the witches can ruin raids if they don't go down from the poison.
Oh yeah, they can just keep that queen stuck on them skeletons. Equally, my attack we were discussing on the start of the stream, I should have left the baby dragon, like you said, and saved the poison for the lava pups. But we're not going to talk about my fails in the CWL invite. You guys see enough of that stuff. Rushing in from the right-hand side now. Oh, I appreciate that help. Pushing in from the right-hand side. Like you said, they've got the Rage and Skelly. That combination you saw before for the Queen looks a beautiful job, but she's just managed to jump the wall. Is going to jump back across and get taken out.
There's tons of balloons. This is definitely going to be a 3-star here with a minute 13 left. Very nice job by Foxy. Not messing around, getting it done, and that's going to be a triple there. Yeah. So that's putting him one step closer to getting maybe, who knows, who'll get this at the very end. The Lava Hound is still up and has about 25% health, but doesn't matter. It's going to be the 3. Nice job by Foxy getting it done.
Yeah, I wonder how many balloons are actually left up there. That is a ton of balloons. That is absolutely insane. Beautiful to get that dip in the bag. You know, that's one thing now that obviously, Elite Gaming, if we're going to get this, we have to go perfect from now on. We have to just get the attacks in and get them done. And
Yep.
like you said, the dip attacks, you can talk them down all you want, but in the heat of the moment, when you've got to get it done, it's more difficult than what you think.
Oh yeah, it can be. It can. You can, so many times you just overthink one small thing, which can cause your heroes to walk, cause something to do what you weren't expecting, and change the whole raid. And also, you have to be careful because it can happen. Is if you do take the wall wrecker, it can get stuck and cause some of these fails. So you never know of if a wall wrecker. Because I've never seen a blimp get the for the siege glitch. I've only seen that happen to the wall wreckers. So you do have to keep that in mind. That might possibly happen. You never know.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Something that I never take into consideration. But you're absolutely right. The wall wrecker does continue to get stuck like that.
It does. I've never seen it live.
It's happened to me.
Or have I seen it? It's happened. It's never happened to me because I usually don't take the wall wrecker. I usually always have a blimp. But yeah, I mean, you never know. It could definitely glitch out if they've ever.
Yeah, it happened to me live on stream, and I think it was an obstacle in my case that stopped it. But I have heard all sorts of things in terms
like a little
of
like bush or something.
I've heard all sorts of reasons as to why it glitches out, and each one's is they're just theorizing. So I wonder if we finish off talking about the last couple of wars, and then we'll maybe watch another replay or two. Like we said, we did have Crazy Monkey and Clash Warriors, which is turning into a nail biter towards the end here. But moving on to WHF and Bangladesh. Bye Forever. Bangladesh getting the victory automatically in this one. Obviously, they were scheduled to face Art of War, which is obviously not happening anymore. WHF versus Bye Forever. You guys know we mentioned Lady B will be streaming this one. If you guys want to pop over there, you can always pop back and help us with the scores and things. But Bye Forever now getting a 12v12 on the board as well. So we're starting to see them 12s coming in between the different wars. And that's obviously, where the wars tend to be won.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's going to come 12v12s in this war as well. Pretty much every war. 12v12 absolutely make a difference.
Before I forget about this, because I'd forgot about it and quickly remembered.
Oh, I think your audio is skipping.
Okay. Is it fixed now?
No, it's skipping on my end.
Okay, in the chat, if my audio is skipping, if you guys can let me know, because I did have a few technical issues prior to the stream, and we did work on them for quite a bit to get this all fixed. But if it's skipping, please let me know in the chat.
Yeah, on my end it's skipping. I just muted it here so it wasn't going through, but I can still hear it. So I want to make sure it's fixed. Sometimes these happen.
Okay, how's that sound now?
Oh yeah, sounds way better.
Beautiful. All right, thank you everyone that did clarify my voice was skipping, and I'm glad I've been able to get that fixed. Basically, I stream off a laptop, I'll quickly tell you guys, and I only have 3 USB ports, and I have a ton of kit plugged into them 3 USB ports, and it's kind of a bit of a mess around to get it to work and not overload the ports, and having a second webcam onto the stream, which I don't normally do, in order to be on Carbon stream has basically gone and overloaded my laptop, and it keeps messing up my USB mic. But we're back. What I was going to ask you, Carbon, and before I forget, we were having the discussion on the Countdown show with Adam about how whether midweek wars were actually important or not, and it was a fantastic discussion. A lot of people saying that they were, a lot of people saying that they weren't, but obviously you just indicated that you do treat them quite competitive, and you clearly do think that they're important. So what's your take on that? How important are midweek spins now?
So I mean, it really depends. Obviously, if you don't have anything on the line, people are going to kind of put them off, like, oh, it's not important if they lose, or if they do win, they'll kind of say, oh, it was. But to me, it's just kind of treating it like a treating it as important as possible, because if I'm live streaming it and I'm doing the attacks, let's say either at the end or kind of the first part of the day, um, then that's what I do. I try to get as many 3 stars as possible when I'm hitting. Even and also helps a lot when you attack the base fresh, right? Not normally you don't attack it fresh, you don't hit it without a scout or whatnot during a kind of a competitive war, but when you do it in a kind of the random spin, that can help you get way better, because when you pull the CC or you have to address the CC with another group of troops, you wouldn't normally have to do that, because let's say there's a lava hound, you wouldn't have to pull the CC in that case. So it can make your attacks when you actually have a scout that much stronger, because you're not relying on that many more balloons for when you're pushing through. So I don't know. I try to treat it as the same, but a lot of people don't. So I mean, I like to, and it hopefully it pays off.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for that, because that's one thing that none of us had discussed when we were talking about that, was improving your ability to adapt mid attack, which is something that happens so much. You can sketch your plan, you can verify it with your team, you can do everything, but ultimately sometimes things are going to go wrong, and if you can adapt in that situation, you can still get it done. So that's one thing that we had never mentioned, and yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, and definitely being able, and I've always preached and talked about, try, like, what makes you better, like how do you become better in the game. Kind of the biggest things that I've done is, one, for professionals, like, not, let's say we're not talking about Clash, we're talking about like professional athletes, we're talking about people who are do this for a living, for playing sports or kind of anything competitive. There's film, right, that they watch hours and hours of film, and in this case, if you were to apply that to Clash, you can, if you were to watch other videos or YouTube videos, or because a lot of times when you watch attacks of just strictly just a game and just some music and no kind of audio or like cue over on top of it, it can be tough to learn it. But and so that's what I do many times, is I will just watch some of these recaps. I don't need audio, because I can watch and kind of know what worked and what didn't work. But for some people who are just learning it, that can be a little difficult. But I've watched many kind of recaps, replays to help get myself better, because you can always improve. And so that's what I've always done, and to see why someone did something over kind of why they chose that versus something else. So I recommend doing that. And then as well, if you can, join a more competitive clan that takes it more serious, and it's not just for, like, if it's just with your family and friends, yeah, that's fun. But if you really want to improve, that's something you have to do, is take that next step.
Yeah. No, that's great advice, actually, for any clasher.
Yeah.
So thank you for
And
sharing
then
that.
also,
Obviously,
yeah, and then also doing your if you were to have your normal kind of war attacks and just doing it in farming, that can make a big difference. And so you always are kind of using your war attacks. Yeah, it can be expensive with Dark Elixir or whatnot. It can be tough to do that since you don't have your heroes up. But if you have the ability to do that, let's say your heroes are max and you're like, oh, my 10 or my 11's max, I don't need to farm anymore. Well, maybe you farm, but it's more for practice, not for loot.
yeah.
So you can be able to adapt on the fly for when
Yeah,
something
and
goes
that's
wrong.
something that I'm doing myself, actually. And I think the Book of Heroes has definitely helped with that, because you can now farm and just get your heroes automatically up without having to wait and try and farm in the background with it. And I have put out some videos as well, actually farming with Lava Loon, because I know farming, in essence, you're trying to get the most amount of loot back, but you can farm with any attack strategy. You can make a profit with any with any army, basically, as long as you're farming in the right area. So I farm right up in Titans with Lava Loon, and I still make a ton of loot. So that's still farming. I'm still practicing my attacks, and that's something, exactly what you said, is something that I've been trying to do in the last year or so, just trying to do my war attacks as farming, instead of, just nil thought attacks, just spamming in other troops, and just trying to think about it a little bit more when I'm attacking normally. Yeah, so we have Fog coming in with another dip attack, and then that will leave one attack each for our 12s. Interestingly, that it's a Bowler Witch attack. I've never, as a Town Hall 12, felt the need to use the Bowler Witch as a dip. But actually, I was streaming for White Temple.
He's
He's misclicked the poison. I was streaming for White Temple yesterday, and they were dipping with Bowler Witch all of the time. So definitely, definitely still a viable army. Pushing right the way through this one, or aiming to with the Wall Wrecker. How deadly will that poison be? I'm not sure what's in the CC here, but if it is something that we need the Queen to get into the base here, I'd be tempted to press the King's ability to get that funnel.
Around.
Yeah, oh my word, they are all going.
Everything's walking around. Yeah, no, I mean, that poison would be huge to help take that dragon down. But the witches did go to the core, so the dragon does go down. So technically, that poison is no longer needed. But the queen did not go in the middle. That's huge. All the troops are on the board, has a jump. Somehow he's going to have to use that jump. Oh, okay, that Tesla farm there might actually save the raid. If he drops the jump in, is the queen going to follow in? I mean, he might still be able to grab this one.
I think he's got this one. I think he has got this one. The Giants got through into that center compartment.
That was a little nerve-wracking.
It was a little. What are you talking about? That was freaking very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I was like, oh, darn. Too bad.
Ooh, Fog, what are you doing to me? Okay, he's going to get it done. I mean, we were talking about adapting to a raid. I think that was a prime example of adapting. I would have probably pressed the King's ability prematurely to basically take out that area and try and redirect everything in. But what he did after that was, although there was only Giants and a couple of Witches, used the rage on them because he knew he had to get that middle compartment with it. And basically, like you said, used a lot of spells on only a couple of troops in the middle in order to get that done. Because had he not done that, it would have gone south. So, wow.
Yeah. Oof.
Nice.
It's going to be a close finish here.
So that's only 2 attacks left for Elite Gaming.
Yeah. Yep. And then we've got 4 attacks left. So we can't. So WHF can afford to dip fail, but we definitely don't want that. That would be actually not good at all. But it still can happen, and it won't be out because we would still be able to hit 5 again for getting it if that's the case, and then hit number 1 or number 2 for the higher percent. But most likely what you guys are going to do is probably hit Texagram and then hit ODB and leave R11 at 89% and go for the 3-star on ODB.
That's exactly what they'll do, I think. Hit that 7, hit number 3 for the percent. That leaves 91 and 89. And then on your side of things, like you said, I think it's probably wise that your number 1, So Longsword, is the one that goes for the dip. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, to be honest, but it just means that you've then got your spread out attacks on the 12s, whereas he then has to hit both of them. I don't know what I was saying there. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't know.
It does limit your attacks a little bit, though, if you get what I mean. If basically one of you 3-star one of these and then someone else takes the dip, he can't attack it twice, so he's just got to use his second attack wisely. I know what I was trying to say, buddy. I know what I was trying to say. It just didn't quite make sense.
We understand. We got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting what they're going to choose. Who's going to dip? Who's going to... Because I would imagine that we're going to dip on number 5 soon here to make sure that we just clear it off. We don't have to worry about it anymore. And then we just go for the 12s. So that'll probably be coming through here in a little bit. There is about just an hour and 37 minutes left, so not too much time, but still plenty of time.
Yeah, still plenty of time. Like you said, they'll just try and get that dip out of the way, and then they can just focus on the 12s. Obviously, Elite Gaming will be heavily looking at ODB, trying to get that base planned out to perfection, because we basically get one shot at it. And even then, we're counting on the fact that you guys fail on them top 2 bases and don't beat the percent as well. So... Yeah. But it's going to be an interesting finish, and I do love these wars where you really have to calculate what happens going down to the end of it, and you can kind of see the strategic nature of not just the attacks themselves, but actually who's hitting who, and really that's where the teamwork comes in, and it's great to see. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially when you're in voice with them, where everyone's kind of talking and getting the plans. Because that's what happened each week. I think, especially week one. I think I had the final hit of the war versus One Hive Genesis, and we were planning to do the attack, and then kind of at the last second we changed it up to make sure we guaranteed to get the 2 star. And we ended up doing that, and that ended up working out. We ended up getting high. I got the higher, ended up 2 starring high percent, and which helped us get the percentage victory over One Hive Genesis.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and
yeah.
that was an incredible war. I still can't
Mhm.
believe you guys got that done. If I'm honest, it was so close looking to the end, and they had the upper hand, I would say, for
Yeah.
a lot of it,
Oh,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
just flipped it
It
round
seems
at
like
the
that
end,
was
and
yeah, that's what it was like for the our first 2 matchups. Was it kind of came down to our opponents had the kind of the advantage going into the kind of the final hour, final 30 minutes, and then kind of we were able to turn it around there.
yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Um, why don't we quickly look at a couple of other replays? It's been a while since we looked at that. I know at Town Hall 11 we had Zeus, and then there was also JT. I think you had an 11v11 with for WHF, and then we can
Maxigram on JT.
yeah, and then we can jump
Alright.
across to one from Elite Gaming as well.
Yeah, we can watch
Okay,
that one. So let's
so we'll
go
have a watch in
play
that
'em.
one.
3,
Off we go.
2, 1, go.
So it is Lavaloon again. You obviously see a lot of Lavaloon, and that's the one thing, a lot of people
Yeah.
call for it to be nerfed and things, and I do think, needs tweaked a bit, especially the Town Hall 11 needs tweaked, 12, sorry, needs tweaked a little bit, but it is a very
Mhm.
skilled attack. It's not something that you can just spam and get to work. It is a high skill cap attack.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are. I've used Lavaloon my whole kind of Clash career. I've started using it ever for a very years and years ago, and I've kind of just adapted it to from kind of using the kind of the bow, pushing in kind of kill squad bowlers with it to doing fully Sui with Skelly to kill the queen. So there's different kind of ways you can adapt and change it, and not only go with a certain type of Lavaloon, but is more obviously more geared towards Lavaloon, where you have the lava saloons and some minions to clean up. But yeah, especially with the Siege Machine, it changes a lot of it.
Yeah, and like you said, there's so many different methods of it. Obviously, this one, just pressing in with that small skill squad to the top, getting out the Queen, though, the important thing, and the CC.
Hmm.
Queen almost got the Eagle there, but it's not going to matter because the balloons are
Yeah,
quickly onto that. And obviously, the more things you do
yeah,
have up in terms of defenses, the bigger spread you tend to see from the attackers. So, in from the south there, quite quick in order to merge the balloons in the middle.
mhm. Yeah. So this was actually there wasn't another 11 that hit the space and came close. With the warden got picked off in the middle by a seeking air mine. And so this time Mexigram comes in with a little different drop of the warden to help keep him away from that, and was able to get it done here. So nice adjustment on the attack and getting that 3 star.
Yeah, getting around to the end as well. You tend to see this a lot either. I mean, you do obviously you see
Hmm.
the close attacks, but you do see attacks where there are a ton of balloons left over. They either fail or there's loads of
Yep.
balloons left over. You very rarely actually see, where they just about clutch it, which is
Hmm.
crazy. It's like
Yeah.
from one extreme to the next.
Yeah. So I mean, it is. I've been in attacks where it's come down to like the final minion or final pup or whatnot, and when it's like that, it's so nerve wracking if it can get it done. And but usually when it's comes down to that, you need like to save one balloon or something to kind of distract. Let's say a wizard tower at the end to come from a certain angle to distract it from a big group of balloons or something coming in. But it really comes down to if you have like a distraction at the end for it. But I
Yeah.
know those can be close, but it's always you're dealing with time. So if you don't drop the troops quick enough and you just wait too long, then usually you'll time fail.
Hmm. And that's one thing about holding the loons as well is great to do, like you said, to either distract but also to help with
Hmm.
time. Just save onto one or two loons just in case, so you can distract,
Hmm.
you can adapt that little bit, but also you can then put them in to help with cleanup once you've got the defenses down. And that's something that I need to try and get a bit better with in terms of holding on to a couple of balloons like that.
Yeah, yeah. No, it just takes practice, and I mean, if you ever need some practice or whatnot, I'm always up for FCs. I'm always available. If
Oh,
you
I
want to do it on
appreciate that.
stream or off or whatnot, for sure. Let me know.
Yeah, I do the the Pro Series episodes here and there. I want to
Mm-hmm.
try and get on a bit more of a schedule for it, but it's pretty hard to set up, to be honest. And I actually started doing the
Yeah,
live
it can
stream
be.
Pro Series as well, which was even more difficult to set up. But
Mm-hmm.
definitely, we should try and hook something like that up sometime.
Yeah, especially with us being, I think pretty much the only time we can do it is like the weekends because you're like 6 hours ahead of me. So the
Yeah,
time
it's
difference
tough.
also makes it for a little challenging. Definitely wouldn't be it because normally I start stream around it's like 8:30 Central or no 8:30 Eastern time, which is like well after midnight for you, and
Yeah.
you would be sleeping. So that's normally
Yeah,
when I
that's one
start
thing
my
with
stream.
collabs and things that it is
Hmm.
just tough. It is tough to do.
Yeah, can
I
be very
know
tough.
that at Town Hall 11 there is an attack by DJ on
Okay.
Octagram.
Okay.
I'm almost guaranteeing that that's a lava loon because DJ is a beast at it, but he's quite a versatile attacker as well. He can hit with a
Okay.
number of things, so it wouldn't
Could
surprise
have
me if
sworn
it
I saw.
wasn't.
I could have sworn I saw an Electro Dragon. I don't know if this was it. But yeah, we can
Oh,
play it.
that'd be awesome.
Let's see. Three
Three,
and
two,
three.
one,
Okay.
off we go.
This
It
was the
is an
Electro
Electro
Dragon
Dragon.
one.
Wow. I'm
Okay.
talking about
Yeah.
DJ being a versatile attacker. There you go, man.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful stuff. So he does have them
Yeah.
balloons very nicely sneaking in to get that archer tower, then just protects the baby
Mm-hmm.
dragon who can get the funnel set up nicely. Obviously, that's huge for Electro Dragons to steer them right into the defenses. And it's interesting that he's taken a queen walk on this one. Can hopefully get a couple of the air defense. I don't think he's going to be able to reach all of them, but obviously he must be able to target onto them relatively easily after that. Oh, he's got the wall wrecker. What am I talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got the wall record to push into the base there to let the queen walk in and pick off those air defenses.
Yeah, beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful stuff.
Yeah. Beautiful job. So the queen takes care of the air defenses, and then the Electro Dragons take care of the rest. And then he's coming straight into the multi-target Inferno, so he doesn't have to worry about the single target taking him down.
Yeah, but he still has that freeze as well, which you can see he can actually get good value on the single and the sweeper,
Yeah.
which will, when he by the time he gets there, could spin and hit the Electro Dragons, or it could be hitting the healers as well on the queen. So either way, he's going to be able to get fantastic value from the freeze spell on the back end there. But there is a lot of damage there as well. Out comes the CC troops though to really take care of it and protect them. Electro Dragons didn't even see that coming, to be honest.
Yeah, and he still has that final free spell for the air defense right there, and barely is able to take it down with that one remaining Electro Dragon right there. But he was able to take advantage of exactly what the base offered. And my goodness, is that zap that jumps? Oh, it's crazy. How was it 5 buildings that it moves to?
Yeah,
But it does
it can
get weaker
take
as it moves
crazy
past.
amounts of
But
buildings out.
you think that you have like, oh, there's too much left and the Electro Dragon can't do it, and then all of a sudden it takes out all the buildings, and then it's like, oh wait, completely
Yep,
changed. Now we got it.
that's exactly
I've
what
never,
happens with them hits. That is
yeah,
exactly what happens. Like you said, you
yeah,
think it's going to be a fail, and then zoop, all of a sudden, like 4 defenses go down and just changes
yeah,
things dramatically.
yeah. I mean, I've never done an Electro Dragon attack in war before, let alone I've never done like a full out mass Electro Dragon and actually tried it. I do have them unlocked. I just unlocked them like maybe a week or 2 weeks ago. And so, but they're still only level 1 for me.
You
But
were
um,
you were like on my stream when I attacked with them the other day, right?
um,
Were you there
I
for my?
think
Was it
I
my
came
second
after that.
attack?
I don't.
You
I
said you
think
came
I
after it.
missed the. Yeah, I think I was that the first one that you did.
No, the Electro Dragon was the second attack. I failed. I failed
Oh,
them
it
both. In
was.
fact, I got like 89%
Oh, I might have been.
lava
I
loon and
might have
then
been there. Yeah, they what they.
79%.
Oh, that's right. They avoided the eagle. I think.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
I just missed the misjudged the funnel a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Because I was expecting them to chain more stuff, but yeah, clearly need a bit more practice for them as well. But it worked out all right because of the chain effect.
yeah. Yeah. No, the chain effect can. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
So we'll just kind of, anyone that is just joining, I appreciate there's people leaving and joining all of the time. We've got an hour and a half left, Elite Gaming versus WHF. We have my good friend CarbonFin helping to commentate this. Carbon is of WHF. They have 4 attacks left, still on for the perfect. They need to dip on one of our Town Hall 11s. Then they have 2 shots or 3 shots at 2 bases for Town Hall 12. Whereas Elite Gaming, we have 91% on base number 1, 89% on base number 4, and then we basically need to make sure we clear the 11, and we're going to have to go for that low percentage Town Hall 12.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the final. We got about hour 25 left. Not too many attacks, but I'm wondering why once we're going to get that dip in on number 5 on DJ. Let's see. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you would expect that one to come in pretty early, because I think at this point the clans have probably figured out exactly how they're going to go about this. They're probably figuring out, possibly even already figured out who's hitting who, and it's just a case of executing the attacks.
Yeah, it's a case of just don't overthink it and just get the job done on the dips, and then have fun and give you your best 12v12s.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of the wars that we were keeping an eye on are set to be finishing before this, so I wonder if we have a live attack, and it's probably that dip, which it is. And they did exactly what I thought. So Longsword coming in for the dip. Lava Loon it is.
All right, drops the Electro Dragon on the Town Hall to get very nice funneling here, because the Town Hall has such high HP that I can provide that kind of chain lightning effect on these defenses.
Great that the air defense is kind of one tile in. Had that have been right to the end, that would have been chained out of there as well. So
could have picked off the Electro Dragon.
Yeah, brilliant from a base design point of view. 30 troops base, but I guess they do take down a number of buildings there to help with that funnel. And even gets a few more as well. Wow. Crazy.
I don't know if he meant to use the Queen to get that air defense there, so that might be a little interesting. The Queen didn't grab it. Queen possibility. She's going to walk down south, not going to go for that air defense. I'm thinking he wanted that down unless she walks back up north.
He's going to come in. So she does.
No, she does, okay. So she's going
to. He does, but I think he's kind of coming in to take care of that anyway.
Oh, he's got the dropping the wall loons.
Yeah,
he goes.
He's just split off that top side of defenses so that they can come down. Right.
Yeah. Okay, so he's got a huge group of loons coming in. Oh boy, pops a warn ability. Oh my lord.
This is destroyed.
There's a lot of loons. Oh my lord. Yeah. Queen goes down. Has a heal over the multi-target Inferno. Balloons bottom side moving around 6. The final, this looks to be a 3.
Yeah, we need to hope there's like 10 red air mines down here or something. Yeah, I mean, very nicely done in terms of just taking his time on that side to take out the defenses on that northern and kind of down to the western side, and using almost the Sui Hero method to get that done. And then, like you said, able to just bring them loons in. Had to be a little bit careful to make sure they got that air defense at the north. But at that point, once he'd narrowed down the base, Balloon's able to just come right down and get it done. Wow, that is exactly what you guys needed.
Yeah, so it's going to come down to the 12v12s.
And that gets that base out of the way. Now you can just, WHF can just focus on the Town Hall 12s. Elite Gaming still have to get one of them dips in, and then also need to get this 12 up in percentage, basically, because if we could hold off them attacks, then we can still win on percent. But it is going to come down to percentage and no other point at this stage. Boy. That's the only way Elite Gaming can win, is through percentage.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah. Unless, I'm trying to think if we were to get 2 bases that were both 92%, I think it's over. Or no, I mean, basically, 92% and a 90. A 92 and a 90, it's over.
Yeah, exactly. So we have 91 and 89 is ideal solution. That is the best possible outcome we can get. So you basically need to beat that percent or ultimately just get a star. And you're going to have 2 shots at one of these bases. So going to be interesting to see it come down to that. from Elite Gaming's point of view as well, they have to get this done. They have to make sure the attacks go in. We're talking about, how it's not a guaranteed thing. We need to get a 12v12 here as well. That's what we're talking about, So
yeah, you can't overthink that. 12v12 has to come in from.
We can't just assume that we're going to get this and it's going to come to percent. Yeah. We need that 12v12. So mammoth task here, but certainly an hour and 20 minutes left. They've got the time to kind of tweak their plans and see this out. And again, going to be a nail biter down to the finish. And I'm glad to have you here with me to discuss it.
Yeah. I mean, it's very exciting to see if they can get that perfect. I haven't been in with a perfect for WHF for at least I don't believe so. But yeah, I know it's gonna come down to. I know in the beginning of the war, you guys were looking really good with the 10v10s, the 10v10 hit rate especially, and the 11v11.
Oh yeah,
but, you were able to kind of turn that around towards the end here.
Yeah, I was watching, after I'd streamed White Temple, I was watching Adam for a little bit, just kind of lurking on stream, but, obviously just kind of cheering on Elite Gaming and seeing how they were doing, and the 10v10 hit rate starting off was great, as we've, become known for, essentially. The past couple of times, we've really came through 10v10. But like you said, why don't you take this one away?
All right, so Wise Man's coming in, drops the balloons, uses a wizard to help funnel. Down goes the Archer Tower, I think it is. Yeah, Archer Tower goes down. He's going to use the blimp. Or does he have wall? Oh, he does have wall breakers, so he's going to plan to use the wall breakers heroes to push his way in to grab that town hall. And he's going to probably do we'll have to see which way he wants to allow Loon. Probably into the Eagle side and then finish off from the Queen at the end. We'll see.
Yeah, interesting, because he has that multi-inferno sitting over there next to the wizard towers as well. Beautiful thinking to just come in with the wall breakers and take out that Giga Tesla with the Queen. That's a mammoth task out of the way.
I'm thinking since he did this, that there's a lava baby dragon, he's just going to deal with the baby dragon while he flies through the base and just overwhelm it and use the poison to kill the baby dragon. That's my initial thought. He's going to do the attack from about 7 o'clock and move his way clockwise around the base because you want to get that eagle down as quick as possible. Yep, there it is. So he's going to fly clockwise around from 7, and he's got to get that eagle down, and he'll deal with the queen at the very end of the raid.
Yeah, and as long as he gets the balloons in quick enough, you can see that pre-haste spell over there as well, where that cannon is. As long as he gets that area down, they should funnel quite nicely to the eagle. So maybe a little bit late on that, but a couple of the balloons do redirect, and now I think he's going to be good to get that down.
Okay, so there's witches in the CC. It's going to be a little interesting, unless he uses the warn ability with the skellies to take out the queen.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to do, which he does alongside that warden ability. Going to have the heal spell on the back end. This is crushed.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a 3-star from Wise Man. Getting it done. Wow. Beautiful attack.
And again, look at how many balloons left over.
That's going to be it. Wow.
There you go.
GG to Elite Gaming. Wise Man.
Talking about down to the wire, man.
Yeah. There it is.
There you go.
Very, very nice. Look at all these balloons that are up. Beautiful hit. So now we have 1 base left for 2 attacks.
Yeah, good game, man. Good game. That was insane. That was insane.
Wow.
Nice work to WHF getting it done there. That is going to be the victory. What do you think? Do we, at this point,
very nice set.
I think they'll just go for the 12s.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
I think they'll just forget about that dip and go for the 12s and just go from there. I think that's what they'll do. Wow, we were talking about nail biters. Still an hour to go, and war done.
Still an hour, yeah.
Can WHF get the perfect war? You have 2 shots at base number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
2 shots at fog.
Can't get much better than perfect.
Yeah, so we got 1 ODB and Sir Longsword. Both have an attempt at it. Very, very nice job.
Yeah, lots of GGs in the chat, and absolutely, you got to give every clan I have the most respect for, and the time and effort that these clans put in. I'm always, I'm just a fan of the game and a fan of the league. Clearly, I'm cheering Elite Gaming, but I am definitely happy for all of the clans for just putting on a great display.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Why don't we check in on
Definitely.
some of the other wars then? Because potentially
Yeah.
some of them are starting to get decided as well. Obviously, now we know WHF are going to get that victory. That's 3-0 for you. Let's have a quick look at the
Yep.
table, how it stands at the moment. Bangladesh,
Yeah.
after getting the automatic victory over Art of War, are
Yep.
sitting at 4-0.
4-0.
DLZ and Legacy, alongside Buy Forever, all 3-0 as well. And then, that's going to move you guys up to 3-0 as well. I mean, you just snuck into playoffs last season, but already coming out of the gates, you got to be thinking playoffs is looking good already.
Yeah, definitely keep it in mind, but we're going to be taking it 1 week at a time, so we're not going to try to overthink more than that, for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely what you've got to do. But yeah, great job starting out the season there. So starting out then, we'll just kind of move down the list as we have previously. Legacy and Omega. Omega did get that 12v12 in, but Legacy still looking better at the 11v11 hit rate. And I'm just trying to work this out now. Looks like there's still a lot of 11s left to clear for the Reddit Omega side. But Legacy literally just have one more to take, which is a dip attack. Then they can focus on the 12s.
Yeah, it's gonna for them. They just got to dip once because there's what's the breakdown? 11-11s. Yeah, so they got to dip 12v11, and then they can unleash on the 12s, pretty much.
I mean, you still got to see though. I know Omega. They have to. Well, they've got 3-11 attacks left, so if they can convert them, they certainly get more shots at the 12. But they already have that 12 in. It's certainly not all over this one. It could swing either way, definitely.
Could. Who knows? I mean, definitely can swing in for Spartan's Legacy or Red Omega. It's gonna be interesting to see. I don't think there is anyone streaming that one, though.
No, I don't think there is, especially when you think as well that Omega is still hunting for their first victory of the season. Legacy 3-0. Wow, let's just see. But again, it's how crazy these wars, how crazily close they are. Clash Warriors and Crazy Monkey looks like there's not a huge amount of difference from last time we checked in. 3 Town Hall 12s done from Clash Warriors side of things. However, Crazy Monkey do have more 12 attacks left over, but they haven't cleared the 11s as of yet.
Yeah, they haven't cleared them.
Neither does Clash Warrior, actually. They have 1 left to clear.
Yeah, they failed 1 dip, 3 for 4, and they clear. Okay, so they got all the 10s done, so that's cleared. 12v11s, so they have to dip on 2 of the 11s though, and then they'll have. Well, they got to first get the 2 11v11 attempts in for Crazy Monkey. So
yeah, but I think Clash Warrior is definitely in the driving seat on that one. Just looking at it, but again, Crazy Monkey putting up great stats. I mean, 51% 10v10, 56 11v11, 50 at 12v12. I mean, apart from that dip fail, they've done tremendous there. That is fantastic.
Oh,
we have a live Elite Gaming, and they are coming in with the 12v12. So it is Foxy. You did see that dip attack come in, and it is another Lava Loon. Interesting on this one that the Giga Tesla is down the bottom, similar to that last attack we saw. No wall breakers to get into that compartment. Can the Queen reach that? I don't think she can.
She can reach that. Yes, she can. She can reach that Town Hall. Yeah, even if the Town Hall was 1 further space away, she could still reach it. If it was the Eagle, she couldn't reach that. But since it is the Town Hall, it's weird, whatever it is, but she can reach that, yes.
Okay, well, there you go then. Getting that down, and it is just the Sui Hero method to get that down. Queen's going to be able to take out a couple of more defenses along her route here. That Expo, though, is going to just be consistently chipping away at her. She might be able to get along to that Wizard Tower, but I don't think so. It's going to be too much damage, and she's going to go down.
By the Expo.
Interesting stuff. Now it is just going to be a similar attack to what we saw in that 12v11 in that the balloons just
Mm-hmm.
coming in from the top side hasn't narrowed the base as much, but you can see only the Sui Hero method means there's more balloons, and we do have that massive spread coming through. Dragon in the CC to help take
Yep.
down the Queen. Looks like we do have a skeleton spell there as well, just to make sure the
Didn't,
balloons are
yeah.
starting to split a bit.
Oh wow, ton of balloons still up. Gonna use the heal on that wizard. Oh no, he's gonna save it for them once they kind of path back around to that
Yeah.
multi at the top at 9 o'clock there, and that looks like
This
it's
is
a
looking
3-star
good.
right there.
This is this is
Yeah.
looking fantastic. Foxy getting it done there.
If-
Gonna have that heal
yeah, if-
spell for that end and the haste as well. Still 1 minute 25. Wow. What an
Yeah,
attack.
killed it.
Beautiful.
Very nice hit by Foxy. I mean, if Foxy did this before Wiseman, it might have put more pressure on Wiseman. So
Yeah, that's an interesting
but-
point. Definitely
yeah,
interest in that.
a Wiseman did it and got it done. What's up, goalie? Very, very nice hit.
It's always
Beautiful.
great to see, that even if a war is in essence won by a clan, that
Yeah, always give it
the
your
nature
best.
of these
Never-
guys
never
are just
give
going to
up.
give it what they've got
Yep.
to really maximize things.
Because
and
you never
what
know,
a
because
beautiful
the
attack.
stars and the percentage can always come back to play a kind of a tiebreaker scenario. So you always want to get as most stars as possible.
Yeah.
So never kind of just hang your head. Always go for his and kind of max it out for sure.
Yeah, what an attack though. That was beautiful. And it
Beautiful
means
job.
that we now have the chance of, 2 off of perfect is pretty good with a 91% and then an 89%. That total destruction will be massive. But obviously
Yeah.
you already have the second 12v12. It's now about
Yep.
whether you can just convert and get the perfect. Crazy wars.
Crazy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about balance then, Carbon? Obviously, the previous seasons, we would never see anywhere close to perfect. Now it is literally the tightest of margin at the top. What do you think about balance?
I think the balance right now, I think it's pretty good, especially with the hit rate. So it's just going to be a matter of who kind of capitalizes on the kind of 12v12s, 11v11s at their respective town halls. I just feel like there was something else that went into tiebreakers, and it wasn't just like straight up just percentage. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm not saying it's like the first one to do it, but if it was like the team, the clan that had the better hit rate, like than the other clan, and
Use less
instead
dip
of
attacks and things like that.
looks less, yeah, exactly, less dips to get it done. But who knows? I mean,
That's interesting. That is very
yeah.
interesting.
But
I'd never thought of
Supercell
that.
would never. Yeah,
you
Supercell would
don't
never
think
do
they'd ever
something
do
like
it?
that.
Because
No, I don't think they'd ever do it because, well, one, it's too complex, but then they're going to be like, well, 100% is like if you clear all the bases, you clear all the bases, you work as a clan, and you kind of, it's a team game, right? And so if someone couldn't do it, then you have other people that kind of step up. So that would never happen, but it's just interesting. But obviously, if it does happen, then there's a tiebreaker scenario that we have to kind of fall under.
Yeah, it's an interesting point because I think Supercell have a tough thing to balance right now because I think everyone does enjoy these tight wars, how they're, clans are seeing more success. Obviously, that's gives you a good feeling. The clans are so competitive. It is the tightest of margins that gives someone the win or loss. And it is interesting what you said about changing the wars so that they didn't have to deal with that, because what they don't want to do is nerf things into the ground and kind of go backwards on themselves. I think, in honesty, I think they have took a positive step in increasing the hit rate, and I think it's great. But I think it's just too close for me. And I think what you said there about changing it could be an answer, but I agree, I think it's a bit complex. However, one idea that I've always said is, before I came to mobile, I was a big kind of Call of Duty fan, and I was quite heavy into them games, but I loved the multiplayer where you could literally just set it up and you could customize anything. Why not let us do that in Friendly Wars? You could customize how the war was actually decided in terms of, like you said, a tiebreaker. You could actually force it so that you couldn't dip or reach or whatever. You just couldn't. Or you could even select certain troops that you would ban and things like that as well. I think that would be just incredible for Friendly Wars.
That would be amazing. Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing if you could do that. And then I mean, I also wish that I don't know, like if they were to somehow be able to make it more of however they would be able to do it more of an esports game, but that's all about being able to get the hits in right away, right? But this style leads to okay, well the war's 24 hours, so then you need time to plan for the base and you need all this versus just rushing it all in 2 hours, which is different. I don't
Hmm.
know. It's just really interesting to see what they can do to it. I would love to kind of see some changes if they came out with something like that, a matchmaking where you can obviously send the invite to another clan to challenge them, but you can have fully customized kind of the way it works.
Yeah,
That would be really
yeah.
cool.
Definitely. I think that would be a massive addition. I mean, obviously, I'm not a coder. I don't know how difficult that would be, but that'd be just incredible for me. And I think, that's something they should seriously look into. We
Uh-huh.
obviously know that they've teased clan war leagues. We
Yep.
don't know how different that's going to be, or in fact what it is of yet. And that was
Yeah.
teased quite a while ago now, so hopefully we'll be finding out pretty soon what on earth they meant by that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
it'll be
think it's
interesting to see
gonna.
how that
Yeah.
changes.
I think I don't know. I mean, I think it's more going to be along the lines of like the trophy system of like how you push for trophies, but it's going to be a clan and you push for trophies. So let's say you beat an enemy clan and you'll
Yeah.
take their trophies and then you move up the ranks that way. And if
Hmm.
you lose some trophies. I think that's what it's going to be more than something like this, what CWL is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
like
think it's going to be like, Supercell are heavily involved with the leagues. They promote them. They live stream the end of the CWL matches. I don't
yeah,
think they would, I don't think they could take that away, to be honest. Even if they put something in game, I don't think it would take over the community leagues that we already have.
I don't think it
So
would.
I don't think it is going to be anything like that. It is going to be something different. You've got to think that, they always reinforce the fact that the war community is just one part of the game. And it would be
Mhm.
crazy for them to have a huge update that only the war community could access. So
Mhm.
it is going to be something that is involved with the clans and, you
Mhm.
know, just a waiting game, I guess. But it is going to be exciting to see how they break that one down and how it's going to be.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would love to wait. I can't wait for it. I mean, I don't know when it's gonna come out. Maybe in 2 days, and usually their updates come out on Tuesdays, so maybe the 9th or the 16th or the 20th, one of these,
Yeah,
hopefully.
who
Who
knows?
knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I know
Um,
Darian had
uh,
said there was going to be another huge update this year,
yeah, he did say that.
and I'm assuming that
He was probably
Clan War
referring to
Leagues is
Clan
what they
War.
meant by that.
Yeah.
So we're into
My
October.
the biggest thing I wish that they gave you the ability to do was FC your own base, right? Yes,
Yep,
you'll have a
I've mentioned
24-hour
that
cooldown.
so
I
many
think
times.
you can FC your home base. That would because a lot of times you'll struggle to find a person that's your same town hall level, and then be able to FC them. And you make a base, and you want to be able to hit that base. You're like, oh, here, copy this base, and then you make it. You got to wait 24 hours, and then they
Yeah,
copy. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know. I wish they did that.
yeah. I wish they would because, like you said, as long as there's a 24-hour period, what's there to gain out of what we already have? It's
I
nothing
know.
that people couldn't exploit or anything, because if you really
No.
want to, you can have your clanmate build the base and then you can attack it in 24 hours. But like you said, it's just an inconvenience. It's not that
Yep.
it's an advantage, it's just an inconvenience. So why would
Yeah.
they not let us attack our own base? I think that is a great addition. But also, let us have a separate army for friendly challenge that doesn't involve
Yep.
that is one thing that I have suggested over and over again, and I just can't see how, if you had the quick train, if you had the quick train and you had a separate tab on that, you had the three things and then it said friendly challenge, and that was your friendly challenge army. It didn't train, you could just change it, boom, you had your army. If you then think, right, actually I'm going to tweak my attack to try and
Mhm.
get this base down, you could then just drop some healers, put in a wall wrecker, change your and go at it again.
Yeah.
It just makes perfect sense for me, and I don't see why they wouldn't do that. I
Yeah.
know when I asked Darian about it, I think it was on the Springtrap show, I don't
Mhm.
think he understood my question. In fact, it was like a community question, and there was a couple of us had asked that same thing because I'd mentioned it a few times, because Darian said that armies basically, like, your army is something that you've built and it's personal to you, so then just being able to just choose any army wouldn't make sense. But to me, like, I don't know, that doesn't matter to me one bit. That does not make sense to me. It doesn't, like, I don't become one with my army. I'm not, you know, it's not personal. It's just a video game. So
Yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't add it, but hey, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, they're all about just wanting you to improve, and this will help people improve. Be able to FC yourself. And then I wish you can, like, FC yourself. Oh, we got
We have
live.
it live.
We got Fog in. We got the
We got
dip.
Fog taking that dip attack. Like we said, they are just maximizing exactly what we said they were going to do. But obviously, you guys already getting that 12v12 gets it done. So Fog, is he going to nearly give me another heart attack? Let's find out. He's coming in with the Bull Witch again. It's nice and widely spread. Has the Giants tanking. Nice funnel already set with the Witches and a couple of bowlers on either side. And obviously just going to try and press right the way through the base with that Wall Wrecker.
Yeah, the Wall Wrecker is going to go all the way across from pretty much 11:30 down to 6. And he's just going to basically overwhelm the base here. Let the Wall Wrecker continue through the Warden Billy, get through these walls, and get access to that Eagle section and take it down.
Yeah, once the Wall Wrecker gets through that and we can get into the middle, like you can see, look at them bowlers just crushing that inside. Nice use on the freeze as well to stop that multi-inferno. Puts the jump in an interesting area. I thought he was going to jump up towards the wizard towers at the top, but I guess they're accessible from the outside of the base, so it doesn't really matter in that regard.
Yeah, pops the king ability with the heal under that multi, and that's pretty much over. Gets the dip in, and very, very, very nice by Fog. Finishing off Elite Gaming, getting the 103, I believe. Finishing it off with that. They wouldn't spend gems to tweak army. Oh, simple. So they're saying it's a simple dollars and cents for Supercell. If they don't give you the ability to, you have to gem your armies to do another FC, so they'll make some more.
That's I agree, but I think that's like just ridiculous, though, isn't it? Like, it's, you know, trophy. I can see when people are trophy pushing, they might want to, you know, they need to have some reason for people to gem, because that's how a business works, right? They're gonna have to have some reason for people to gem. But I think with the bases, and, you know, they've already given us so many reasons not to gem that wouldn't make a big difference. You know, they've, you know, if you think about what it used to be like, training times, and how long it took you to upgrade your base, they've made it so much faster now. That is taking out the use of a crazy amount of gems. For that, the sake of that friendly challenge, just add it in. So like you said, Elite Gaming 103 finishing off, and it is going to be a high percentage, 99.43 total destruction, actually ahead of WHF at the moment, but you do have that base with 53%, which you've obviously got 2 shots at. That's going to push that percentage right up. Beautiful job by Elite Gaming, I've got to say. 91% and 89 left on the board. Taking that 12v12 is beautiful, and GG to Elite Gaming as well. I obviously, you know, get to watch them and you know, thankfully stream for them each and every week, and the work they put in the background, it does pay off. But like you know yourselves, I know how hard WHF work as well, getting it done on this one, and again, congrats on that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely GG to Elite Gaming. Is definitely a lot of fun. It's definitely fun playing you guys in the midweek and now, and best of luck to the rest of the season here. What is that going to put Elite Gaming to? 1-3, I believe.
1-3, yeah. We just missed. I mean, we faced DLZ, which actually there's a lot of people in the chat saying DLZ have took the victory. So why don't we have a look at that real quick? Genesis and DLZ has finished. It said ended 8 minutes ago, 115 to 111, but people in the chat are saying 118 to 113 was the final score.
Oh, okay, 118, 113.
Wow.
Got it.
So that means, I mean, 26% hit rate at 11v11. I know that DLZ bases are good, but wow, that is crazy.
Wow.
So let's see how many 11s did they must have missed. 5 12s. You got to give them credit on the breakdown. 5 12s in there is awesome.
Yeah.
So 120 maximum score. They got 113, so they must have missed. They got a 12 there. They might have even got another 12. They must have missed a good a few 11s, Genesis. GG to Dark Looter Z. I don't think, as good as Genesis are, I don't think you could pin DLZ against anyone in the league and them not be the favourites.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm interested to see, how is DLZ 3-0 when we're 2-0. When should they be 2-0? I don't know how that works.
In the league, yeah, they should be 2-0, and then
it shows them 3-0 on War Match. I don't know why. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, that does show them at 3-0 because they faced. Let's see, they faced Elite Gaming in the first week. Then they faced who was it in the second week? War Whales. That was
they
it,
gave them the win for Art of War. That's why. Because we don't play Art of War at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Art of War 0 for 11 on the bottom there. Okay.
Yeah, they
doesn't look like Elite Gaming face Art of War either.
Yeah.
Damn it.
That would be a free win. Oh, crap.
Okay, so that puts DLZ level with Bangladesh. Depending on what percentage they got, they might be able to leapfrog them up there as well. But great to see Bangladesh coming into this first season in Invite. Great to see them doing so well. I knew they were a fierce clan. Wow. Yeah, DLZ and WHF is rescheduled. I think is it later this month? Is it the 19th?
It's in November, I believe.
It's November?
Yeah,
I don't know where I was getting the 19th from then.
I don't know. 19th. I think it's the November. Oh, is it the 9th? I thought it was about November 9th. I'll have to check. I'm not entirely
I don't know. Anyway, let's just quickly go through the wars again then, and because a lot of these will, I think a couple of them are wrapping up, and then a couple of them still have an hour, much like ours. Then we can flick through a couple of replays as well. Not much change. Legacy and Omega still relatively the same, and War Match did just update 2 minutes ago, so similar situation. Legacy still got them 8 12v12 attacks. Looks like Reddit Omega they've got an extra 11v11 there, haven't they? I think they only had 5 last time. And they have failed a dip as well.
Did they?
So that could be could be costly.
They failed a dip on the 11.
And actually they've had another 12v12 hit, so there has been a bit of movement actually. They've had, because they were 1 for 1 before, so they've had another 12v12. Looks like they got an 11v11 in, but have failed a dip as well, so they can still, how many 11s have they got left to take out? They've got 5 left to take out, so they basically need another 11 to try and give themselves another shot at 12v12, and they'll be leaving at least 2 stars on the board.
Yeah, so they got, let's see, the breakdown, they got to grab 5 more 11s, and they have 5 more 12 attacks. So they really need to get 1 more 11v11 and then dip, and then they get 1 more attempt at a 12. And then
which they really need to try and convert.
Yeah, so the best they can probably be at is what, about 117, if they do.
Yeah, they could miss 2 stars, I think, so they could get to 118 maybe. But Spartan's Legacy only need to dip 1 more attack, then they have 7 attacks at them 4 bases in order to get at least 1, and then 2 would mean that Reddit Omega couldn't get as many. Clash Bastion in the house, welcome my friend.
Yeah, so they definitely need they get those 12s. Spartan's Legacy is definitely in the driver's seat for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. And again, we kind of predicted that as well. Legacy 3-0, very, very strong at the moment. Reddit Omega struggling. They struggled last season though. I think they were 0 for 3 and then just came back and I think they qualified into playoffs without even, because it came down to the last day, and I think there was about 6 clans that could still get into it, yourselves being one of them. And Reddit Omega, I believe, we faced in the final week, but they were already through. It was crazy how they spun it around. But yes, Legacy in the driving seat with that one. Much movement on Warriors and Monkey. It looks like that is exactly the same, to be honest. Clash Warriors, though.
Are now at 119. Damn. They're 1 away from the perfect.
1 away from the perfect, and they still have... So they have 111... And then, it's just 112 that they get to go for that. Whereas Crazy Monkey have one more 11 to take. They've got 2 shots at that, and then 3 attempts at the 12v12. So, what an even war that is. That is so close.
That's a very close one.
Looks like Warriors 99.78, so that means they are... Their attack is... What, only 10% off? They must have a 90% 2-star or so on the top base, so they have a pretty good idea for that final attack.
Exactly. Yeah, they probably with one attack left, so just adjust and see if they can clean it up.
Yeah, still Crazy Monkey right up there as well. That is going to be an interesting. Could end up a perfect for that one. Really could.
First one, perfect.
Oh yeah, it could do. Okay, J-Off and Bye Forever. Again, we were saying this is an interesting war before. I think someone must have jumped across to Lady B's stream and checked up on that last time, because someone did give me an update, but that was a while ago. Bye Forever have the 12v12 in. Other than that, quite an even war, to be honest, in terms of stats. There's not a lot in it.
Yeah, they got the 1 for 2 for Bye Forever, 6 tunnel 12 hits to go, and 111.
So J-Off will be trying to get them 11s in. They can still clear the 11s with the 11s, technically, and have 8 attacks for the 4 Town Hall 12s. That would be amazing. Bye Forever, obviously, already have one of them in. But they only have one more, so they're going to have a dip. They're going to have to use at least one dip, and then they'd have a few extra attempts. But they already have one of the 12 bases down, so... J-Off probably slightly in the lead, but again, you know, you can have the attacks left over, but it's if you can put them in the bag, isn't it? It's if you can actually execute them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a matter of getting it done. Oh, we got the live ODB's in.
Here we go then. This is for the perfect for you guys.
Perfect war.
Take it away, Carbon.
All right, ODB's coming in with a mass or Queen Walk Miners. Has a blimp, interesting enough. Where is she going to use this blimp?
Very interesting. I think she's probably going to charge in to the north, maybe, because there's a lot of splash damage and a multi alongside the Queen there. That would make sense to get that down and then basically just strip the miners. It's actually the blimp coming in at the north.
That's exactly what she's doing. She's probably got dragons in that blimp to send the dragon balloons to kill the Queen and the multi-target Inferno. Yep, there it is.
Oh, it's 2 dragons, in fact.
2 dragons. Takes out the Queen, takes out a multi, takes out a lot of splash damage up there. Very nice job.
Gonna get them bomb towers.
Start the Queen Walk.
Yeah.
Yep. Bomb tower's big. Archer tower's going to go down. Very nice.
As well. Wow. That was massive value. From 2 dragons, that was crazy value.
2 dragons and balloons
now down towards these other splash damage as well.
All right, so he's going to drop, or she's going to drop some balloons to take out that Archer tower there. The Queen should be able to step up and grab that Expo if she passed correctly. Going to have to drop a Rage to keep her up. Keep an eye on her ability, but takes down. Okay, out comes the CC of a dragon. Baby dragon. Here. Lava. What else is in there? Is there a lava in there? She not pulling the lava?
I don't think she's pulled it quite enough yet. The Queen.
Okay,
there you go.
The lava. Well, at least she gets the Expo.
That's going to slow her down, but she does have a poison for it.
Yeah, she does have a poison. She'll drop on the pups, and it'll go down pretty quick. A Rage and a poison, so it doesn't have to worry about that. Eagle activates. You're going to see the King come down at the 6 o'clock collector, and he's going to create a little bit of a funnel, and the mass miner straight into the base.
Way through that bit.
Oh, actually, no. She's going to come. Yeah, she's going to come from the right side there. She wants to definitely take that Eagle down as quick as possible. So, yeah, that's the right call.
Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely. Yeah. Alongside, I mean, it doesn't really matter as much of the multi-inferno, but
to keep her up.
There's not a lot of time left here. I know there's 1 minute and 20 left, but that is a lot of base left to get through, if I'm honest. Going to be interesting. The Queen has got such amazing value on that left-hand side. I really think that that walk has been worth it. Are the miners going to path to this wizard tower, or are they going to keep going and leave that? That could be that time factor we're talking about if they leave that up.
Uh-oh. Got to pop that warn ability to save those miners.
Oh, I think they're going to go down here. They are going down quick to that Giga Tesla.
Okay, so she popped the warden ability, which is huge. Hopefully that... Why are they not hitting? Okay, there. Now the Town Hall goes down.
Ooh, yeah, the thing with the miners is they can dodge the Giga Bomb, but they take massive damage off the Giga Tesla themselves. So a Rage spell is often, I find, needed for them miners on the Giga Tesla because they take so much damage off it.
If she had a rage spell for that area, they would have been able to get through a lot faster. But
Interesting
she's
attack to
gonna
be
fall a
able
little
to
short here.
critique in terms of your second attack, because I think the battle blimp value from the top and the queen walk was certainly enough. Could probably get the miners in a bit quicker and then obviously just make a little adjustment. Do they even still go with the miners? Let's have a look at that again, and maybe they could just take that value on the left hand side and go with something else. How about we watch the attack again?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Unless if they wanted to do that again, but the miners would be able to deal with the town hall.
I mean, even Hog
And get
Riders
under
down
it.
that side, might be enough to get it done instead of the miners. It's just that Giga Tesla. You'd have to make sure that the Grand Warden had the ability used, or let's think about. I mean, thinking about the loons. There's the Multi Inferno. I mean, a lot of cannons at the top is going to do nothing. There's not huge amount of value there. If they did that similar kind of, just brought the lava loon right the way down, you have to have a lot of hastes for this area when the lava hounds went to the opposite side of the base to try and overcome that. But even balloons might be quick enough to get down there.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that what they can do is it would have been probably better to use a bowler on the gold mine at 3 o'clock to skip onto the air defense to help create more of a funnel that way, and then use the king to push somewhere else or to tank somewhere. Would have been probably good, because that funnel would have been created with just probably a bowler on that gold store or gold mine and air defense right there. Unless, how much does air defense have? Unless it can't take it. Oh, we'll probably wouldn't be able to take it out unless you.
If you came from down the south, not necessarily up the top, but down the south, you could get decent chain value with the Electro Dragons there.
Oh, with
You do have an
Electro
air
Dragon?
sweeper to worry about, but you could probably get decent value chaining through that. Just depends how many you could fit into your army, though. That's a lot of space that you've got to commit over to the Queen Walk. I think there's a lot of value there, but it does mean that them heavier armies in terms of the Electro Dragons would suffer. So maybe the miners or hogs or even loons would be the way to go for the final part of the base. Maybe even a jump spell for the Queen, to get over and get that Giga Tesla. It'd be harder to create the funnel, but she's in that area. She's in that pocket that she could just skip over and help.
I think what was needed probably would have been a rage over that town hall, which then it would have been able to rage through town hall and then rage through the CC and get through that stuff fast. And then now we know where the giant bombs are in the middle there, and then you can kind of have that area protected by heals. But
I think though, if you could create that funnel and put the jump spell directly on top of the CC, the Queen could get into that area. The healers were absolutely fine. They'd probably be just out of range of them air defense as well. The Queen could definitely get in there and get good value to help the troops through.
Yeah, who knows? Be interesting to see what Sir Longsword decides to take.
Yeah, I'm sure they're on voice right now, trying to just plan that out and
let's
see how they can adjust it. 43 minutes to adjust it and get it done. How long are they going to keep us sitting here waiting in suspense?
Let me see. We've got 1, 2, 3. We got 5 people up in voice over there. Let's see if he's got it called. Even though he's the last attack, wouldn't matter.
I mean, do you know Sir Longsword's kind of what his go-to strategies and things? Is he one that likes the miners, or is quite a versatile attacker?
He could do miners, he could do air. He likes to do Lalo. He can do. He could definitely copy a hit to improve it, so he could do it pretty much anything to copy. So if he sees a Queen Walk Hog like Queen Charge into Hogs or something, he can definitely copy it and make a few adjustments and just kind of replicate it. So he definitely could repeat that minor hit.
Yeah, interesting. And like I said earlier, when we did see, the adjustments on that other hit, I always like to see that, how clans can, get together and just adjust things a little bit in order to help out.
If they want to what? You were cutting out there.
Oh, I was? Is my microphone doing that again?
It cuts out sometimes, but I've been dealing with it.
It's all good? It's not skipping? Not skipping like it was previously? All right. Yeah, I was saying it's just interesting how, like I said before, when we seen it, how clans can
Mm-hmm.
adjust so beautifully to see the
Mm-hmm.
scout attack and adjust to get it done essentially on that next attack.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Oh
interesting to
yeah.
see how they adjust that one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks like Halo Okraheads is now live covering Spartan's Legacy, so that's being
Oh,
covered
that's
live as
awesome
well.
then. Yeah, we can
So if you
see.
guys are also looking for that, he's on. I don't know if he's on YouTube. I know he's for sure on Twitch here streaming. He's
I
probably on
think
YouTube
he
as
he
well.
used to stream. He used to stream on them both. Yeah. So yeah, people can
Yeah.
certainly come and update us because the thing with war matches, it does take a little bit to update. Looks like Legacy have taken that dip and have got it done. So they now have 7 attacks to try and get 4 Town Hall 12 bases down. Not an impossible task, shall we say.
Hmm.
Can Spartan's Legacy get the perfect? They've got
We'll
the
see.
capability, definitely.
They definitely do have the capability.
One war that we
Sure.
keep missing on because we always start at the top and then there's a live comes in is Gehazi Bombers versus War Whales. And
Yeah.
Gehazi Bomber, we were mentioning, being from Japan in previous weeks, have had to attack early and have been done with quite a bit of the war left. Looks like they still actually have 3 Town Hall 12 attacks to take out 2 Town Hall 12 bases. They got the job done at 11v11 by themselves, so no dip attacks needed. They've
Hmm.
already had 5 Town Hall 12 attacks on them bases, so they've probably got pretty good scouts on them bases. Only 97% total destruction, though, means that they're a good way off clearing them bases.
Hmm.
Going to be interesting for them as well, but War Whales right hot on their heels.
Yeah, War Whales can definitely make a comeback here for kind of the 12v12s. Trying to see. They do 12v11s, yeah. So they do have to can't overthink the dips that they do have. But because Kazi
They still have
Bombers
four
just has
11s in
this
there as
12.
well to try and
Yeah.
pick that up a little bit. But you're right, they
Mm-hmm.
have 4 other Town Hall 11 bases to take out. So unless they went
Yep. They
perfect
gotta
with the
get it
Town
four
Hall
times.
11s, they're going to have to take some dips, which means they don't have as many attacks as Gehazi Bomber. But we do know that War Whales have got some heavy hitting 12s. They've got the perfect
Mm-hmm.
previously, so they can definitely get it done.
Yeah, we'll see. Where so let's see where War Whales is at right now in the league. War Whales are at they're at 3-1 as well. So they beat Crazy Monkey 120, so 120, 116. They lost to Dark Blue to Z, and then they got the win for Art of War. Okay.
Yeah. So next one down is the
Oh, they beat
Genesis and
Clash
Dark
Royals.
Leader Z War, which has updated on the match. Looks like Dark
Yep.
Leader
Who's
Z
final?
missed out on 2 Town Hall 12s, 3 for 8. So decent defensive rate there from Genesis. Difficult bases, obviously. But only 1 for 5 on their point. And let's see how many 11s they did miss then. So 14 11s, they took 6 of them out and took 5 dips. That's obviously only 11, so they've left 3 11s up on the board and then missed out on the 4 12s as well.
Wow. Yeah, so
Not their day, not their day.
not their day.
And it
No.
was, that matchup was, like I said, last season, the semi-final. I still can't get over how brilliant it was. It was such a great war. But Z soldiering on, getting it done there, which is great.
Man, it'd be so fun to see these wars at 50v50 to really see the kind of
Oh
these
yeah.
clans shine. Oh yeah, that'd be so
What
much
do you
fun.
think about the 12 breakdowns then, Carbon? Like, what do you think? We've had this discussion on the Countdown show as well. What do you think would be an ideal number of Town Hall 12 bases in a war for CWL Invite?
So I mean, it really depends on if you're because obviously the more Talent 12s you have, then the more you can have the ability to dip if you take less 11s and you run like a 40v40
Yeah,
breakdown.
yeah,
So right now, if we're looking at the one on Genesis for Dark Louis Z, and they got a breakdown of 5 12s, that's 10 attacks, and there's only 14 11s. So essentially, if you get obviously that means you wouldn't be able to attack 12v12, but if you get 4 11v11s, you can clear the 11s. And with obviously the 12, that means they would all have the dip. But I don't know. I'm always in favor of more 12s because then it gives the opportunity for not only viewers but then the clans to go for those 12v12 attempts. And I'm always for it. The heavier the breakdown, the better. I like them. And I
Yeah, I
was
mean, that's...
competing. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying I was before the start of this season competing in the AWL for like the Superhumans, which was 20. It was a 20v20 breakdown of only Tunnel 12s,
Yeah.
and that was a lot of fun to compete in. And if people have the opportunity to do something like that and they are maxed out at 12, I highly recommend it because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. They have massive breakdowns. I think that's similar to what we were saying in the show when we were discussing that. The more 12s you have, the more dip attacks, but we did like the idea of heavier breakdowns, and in an ideal world you would have, equal breakdowns of 12s, 11s and 10s. That's why I personally, as much as the no dip style wars can be exciting from a media point of view, they can often be over as well because the 10s can ultimately lose the war. There's more 10s in there, so if they dip fail and there's it's no dip, then war can be over. We've seen that in Clash Cup, really. So I do prefer the format that CWL has. I think it's raw. It is what it is for people to be able to just watch and they know what's going on. There's no kind of extra rules in there, but it's interesting, the breakdowns. I do think a couple of more 12s would be nice, but, you then do run into that issue of having more dips.
Yeah. But who knows?
Why don't we...
I wonder when SLS is going to go in. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm sure people can keep us updated on the chat. Why don't we maybe check out another 10v10, because we did look... I believe it is second 11v11 from both sides, but then we never got down to the 10v10s.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we maybe replay one of them? I'll let you maybe randomly choose one of WHF's hits first, and then we'll choose one of Elite Gaming's.
Let's go. And I just scroll down here on number 29. It's Agent 931.
Yep. Sounds good.
I'm going to play in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. All right, so another Sui Laloon, which you could probably pretty much almost guess it would probably be Sui. Who knows? Drops the blimp to test for some probably Seeking Air Mines. This probably looks like it might have been a fresh hit. Pulling the CC, getting that Inferno Tower and Wizard Tower, which is really nice, and pushing over to get the cannon there.
Interesting they didn't come back over to get the Archer Tower. I would have thought they would do that, but actually the cannons...
Who knows with pathing? It can always be weird.
Cannon's probably just as good of a defense to get, because the Queen can easy enough get that Archer Tower from this side. Going to get the CC out of the way, and then like you said, that Sui method, just stripping out that area, helping the pathing so much. That's what can really help out these Lava Loon style hits with the siege machines. It's just great.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Queen's going to step up, walk around, help create more of a path, and then assuming Agent's going to come around coming from 12 o'clock around clockwise, and he's going to end up fighting into the sweeper there, but that is where their defenses are, and so he's just going to try to overwhelm that area.
Yeah, he's going to have the haste down nice and early, which he does, to try and get the balloons over there next to the Lava Hounds. Does a nice job to do that, and then obviously get them tanked. There goes the Rage, waiting of the Queen, and I was just about to say that bomb tower could be deadly for the Skellies. That's where that freeze comes in beautiful, just to help ensure that Queen goes down. Yeah,
and the Rage right over the Queen. If you can combine the Rage with the balloons, pups, and Skellies, that's the best you can possibly do, because sometimes the Skellies, or she might jump the wall and the Skelly spell won't be able to grab her because of that. She jumps the wall, but then the Lava Pups can end up helping clean her up through that Rage, which can make a big difference.
And that's where I've been trying to practice my precision a little bit with the Battle Blimp and the Dragon method, because that can be a lot simpler. Pardon?
What was that? You were cutting out.
I was just saying that's where sometimes I've been practicing with the Battle Blimp and the Dragon method to try and help take down that queen a little bit easier, because I do think
Mm-hmm.
there's a little bit less risk involved with compared to the
Mm-hmm.
skeleton spell, which, like you said, she can jump the wall, and then, you know, if you miss that, that's a massive problem.
Oh yeah, it can be a huge problem. Absolutely. Now I'm wondering when, if you want to pick a 10 out of 10 on your side to hit WHF, let me know. I'm gonna see if they know when the attack's
When
gonna
they're going
go
to hit.
in. Let's see
So
if they
I think we're going to go against Sir Bacon because I like that name.
Sir Bacon. Okay, let's go
It's
take a
number
look.
29.
29. Okay.
Going 3, 2, 1. It's pretty good actually, because I can see you pressing the replay button now as well. So exactly the same type of attack. Would you look at
Yep.
that? Judo coming in with that battle blimp, able to come in,
Yep.
get the CC lure, presses it early to take that Tesla. Air defense doesn't go towards the single Inferno,
Yeah, I
interestingly
think
enough,
that's
with
what
popping it
I
out
think he wanted
earlier.
to get the single Inferno. I think that was his objective, but then he was able to adjust on the fly to able to adapt his attack.
Yeah, which is exactly what we've been talking about. Missing that
Mm-hmm.
out. Might have even been thinking about getting the sweeper there as well, right next to it, but
Yeah.
clearly still gets the 3. Going to pull that baby dragon off to the side,
Yeah.
just snipe that off, and then as you can see, there is an air defense sitting nicely on that side, which the queen can easily get, and in comes the lava hounds from the top. The single Inferno probably isn't going to be that much of an issue. It's not going to be in reach, or it might be, of that first air defense, and then when the balloons get over it, it's really not that bad, to be honest. They can kind of swarm it a lot easier.
Yeah, and you'll notice that Judo, he didn't use the poison spell on the baby dragon because since it is just the dragon, he doesn't need to waste the poison spell on it. The queen can pick it off, and then he can use the poison on the enemy queen, slow her down, use the rage and skellies, and use it in a better spot instead of on the baby dragon.
Yeah, and interestingly, the air skeletons go into that poison as well, which is obviously massive in terms of getting them down. They can surprisingly do a lot of damage onto your balloons, and that air sweeper is giving him a little bit of grief coming to the final part. Does have a heal spell he's going to have to use over that wizard tower, and then they're hopefully going to sneak around the back of it.
Yeah, and then he got so lucky with the sweepers
Lava
being
pup.
occupied on the one lava pup there. Otherwise, it would have probably been a fail if those balloons got caught up in the sweeper. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Might have got a little lucky there, but he gets the 3. 3's a 3.
Yeah, absolutely. 3's a 3. There is a Tesla in the bottom, which is going to cause the balloons to go right the way down. So he obviously has enough to take out them storages in the middle as well. We know it's a 3-star, but interestingly though, that the balloons have to come right the way down to the bottom.
Yeah. Gets it done though. I remember I was watching this live and I was like, oh my goodness, that sweeper distracted on the pup. It's like,
Yeah, I can't remember. There was an attack I was watching actually on Adam's stream after this, and it came in, and I was like, "Oh, I can't believe they just got that." There was a similar one from WHF. I can't remember which base it was on though. It was definitely a Town Hall 10, where, like you said, they just about got it. Someone saying Spartan's Legacy 117 to 107. I think that's a similar score to what we saw before. 48 minutes to go. Yeah, if you guys want to pop on over to Halo's stream, obviously give him a shout out from myself and Carbon, and then you can come back and let us know the score as they come in, because War Match does take a little bit to update where we get the scores from.
117 to 107, it looks like. What does it say? It says 117 to 104 on War Match.
On War Match, so that means Omega. Let's have a quick look. We might as well pull that up then. So that means that Omega have basically got, I'm assuming, another one of the 11s in.
1 for 1 on 12v12.
Oh yeah, we didn't see that last time, did we? Wow, so they are looking good then. Really 6 attacks for 3 bases. That's beautiful. Omega on the back pedal. They've still got 5 Town Hall 12 attacks, but like we said earlier, they've got to do quite a few dips here. They really need that 11 to come in. If they're on 1-7, like someone commented, that means they've taken an 11v11. Probably well, no, it wouldn't make sense to do a dip attack straight away unless they failed the 11. I'll have to see when it updates. That'll be interesting to see.
We'll see.
Clash Warriors and Crazy Monkey, though, I am fixated on that war. Clash Warriors have got another attack in, only 1 left now.
Yeah,
Where
one
was the
left for
other
Clash
attack?
Warriors.
Where was the other
They're
attack
one
in
away
though?
from perfect.
So they must have took a... Did they need to clear another 11 maybe? That must have been what it was. Because they already had 3 Town Hall 12s in.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did.
Interesting.
Must have took an 11. Let's see. So Crazy Monkey, 3 away from perfect. Still have 3 12 attacks. And 1 Town Hall 11. They've already took a dip, interestingly enough, when there's still 2 11s. That's interesting that they've done that. But hey, you never know, you know, like you said earlier, we're just looking from war match from, you know, a stats point of view. You can't really see what's going on in the war itself. But interesting that they're dipping and clearing away when we've still got 11s left to hit. Definitely interesting.
Let me... Oh, yeah, I can adjust this.
Oh, so J-Off now have got a 12v12 in as well. That is a super close war. I mean, even looking at percentage, coming down to the final half hour, like we said, Lady B is streaming that one as well. That is going to be super close. Let's see. Buy Forever have that extra attack, so you've got to say they're potentially in the driving seat. J-Off have a better percentage rate, but that's not going to mean too much with 6 attacks left and only 3 bases from each clan. Like we said earlier, could certainly be a perfect. J-Off have already taken the dip, so Buy Forever with that extra attack will have to dip, and then it basically ties it up.
Yeah, so let's see, 35 minutes left. It's probably, let's see if I go, she would probably have it up on her stream. Yeah, 116, 116. They're both 1 for 2 and 12v12s. Man, this is going to be a close one.
Yeah, it's basically tied right now with that. It's all about the 12s because they take, well, we say it's tied, but we're assuming they get that dip. Wow, what a war, man. Fantastic stuff. J-Off fresh out of that victory over Art of War as well. They've both been doing very well.
It was a straight up win for them. They actually beat Art of War.
Yeah, no, absolutely, they did. Art of War had a dip fail, which meant they had to then dip again on a Town Hall 11, and J-Off had to take the 12, which they did. Credit to them. I actually picked them for this week, I believe. I can't... Did I? I'm pretty sure I picked J-Off in my pick'ems, actually.
Yeah.
But,
I don't think I'm
just
in those
a
pick'ems.
difficult one to pick. We looked at Clash Warriors and Crazy Monkey. We've seen Genesis. Ooh, looks like Cohesy Bombers and War Whales is advancing a little bit. War Whales have a 12v12 in now.
The Easy Bombers did 6 attempts now. So they're 1 away from the perfect.
You got 2 shots at that base to get the perfect.
Yep.
But they, again, 98.83 means they're a decent way off it. Must be a low percentage base.
Yeah. 4 for 4, 11v10s, 12v11s.
Difficult to call. War Wheels, you know.
War Whale still has 2 11 hits to come in. So we'll see what they decide to do.
Yeah, they're going to have to at least dip 1. So they've got 5 12 attacks to... which would basically pretty much even things out.
Yeah.
Easy Bombers potentially at a slight victory. I mean, they're 1 off the perfect, and we're saying how they might not even have the the advantage here. How crazy is that? Right. I think they do have the advantage, but War Whales right on their toes.
100%. 100% have the advantage. They have 2 attacks for 1 base, and they just need that 1 more for the perfect. 100% they got the advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, War Whales right there, though.
If War Whales doesn't get the 2, if they don't get the 2 11v11s, they'll have to dip twice, meaning they have 4 attacks for 3 bases. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Easy Bombers is definitely in the advantage.
Didn't look at it that way. Yeah.
What is Easy Bombers record? Where are they at? They're at 1-3. Okay, so.
Yeah, I think I picked War Whales for that war as well. War Whales
3-2. Wow.
Great job to them. I mean. Like I said, they've had some tough matchups. Cohesy Bombers, though, although they've lost a couple of wars, they've only just lost them. I don't think they've been like an incredibly large amount away from the victory, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I want to see when. Let's see. So Longsword's probably like, I'm just going to wait a million. Let's see what he's got cooked up. Sir Longsword, what do you got? Let's see. He's got the air. Doesn't look like he's going minors.
Oh, interesting. Like we said, I mean, from that attack though, because you put a large amount into your kill squad at the north, and then the queen taking out such an area, you do narrow the base a lot, and it does mean that it opens your options up a little bit in terms of if there's less base to take out, you can potentially use a few different methods to do that. That's if he's going with the same entry. Might be changing the attack altogether. Might not feel confident with it at all. Who knows?
I have no idea. Unless he's definitely going to go for the perfect, because that can help. Every star can make a difference.
Oh, yeah.
Every star at % in the war, so definitely want it. But I think we're at an even flat breakdown of stars. Yeah, because we've given the 2 wars that we were in was 118, 118. So no matter what, we'll be up 1 star in this one overall. But damn, Dark Lord Z is up 10. Wow. As far as legacy, he's up. You got 9. Here we go. He's live. He's coming in.
Okay. Yep, looks like he's going in with the lava loon, and he is going to change it up quite a bit here. Coming in from the north, and he is going to take up that section, like we said earlier, with just a kill squad in itself to take out the multi-inferno, the wizard towers, the queen. Gonna be interesting to see how this changes.
Oh, the queen's walking, but is that good though? Well, Valkyries are going to try to push their way. Oh, but the single target, the multi-target inferno is not going to go down.
Not going to go down. That's a big problem. Queen needed to go in there. I guess he can easily target it with the balloons, but
he can.
He certainly doesn't want the queen getting any shots on that hound, because that's just one more problem. So he's going to have to at least send a pack of balloons, and then I guess they're probably going to merge relatively.
The hound was a baby dragon, so that's good.
Going to be able to merge with the other ones. He's going to have to come in from the north, though.
Yeah, he has to.
Unless he just leaves the multi-inferno until last. But yeah, comes in from the north.
That's what he's going to do. He's going to leave the multi-inferno until the very end. So he's going to haste his way through the base. He's going to hit this multi-target inferno first. So he's going to get blown back here. He's got to save that warden ability for the town hall. Activates it. Flies his way through. Phrases the town hall. There
Warden is lagging a bit, but he's on top of them.
Pops the warden ability.
No, he didn't.
Oh, pop it now, pop it now. There's a ziggy in your mind. Pop it now, pop it now, pop it now. Oh,
is he disconnected? What's happening?
I don't know.
Warden's gone down. Maybe he's disconnected, because that was not. Has he put any?
No, he didn't disconnect. He just dropped the haste.
What happened there? I'm not sure what's happened with that.
Oh, they ran around the wrong way there.
Wow, I'm always intrigued as well. How could it have gone if, they'd have done this, or if this had happened? There's not a huge amount of base left there, to be honest. Warden goes over the top of that Giga Bomb.
Damn.
I don't know.
Nice try, Sir Longsword.
Nice try. I mean, ultimately, you guys, one off the perfect. You can't grumble at that. You've got the victory,
Yeah.
Fantastic job as a clan to get through that. And, we saw Sir Longsword earlier getting it done for you guys, and that helped you to get the victory. So I don't think you can be too disappointed at that one. Fantastic victory for you guys. And, best of luck for the rest of the season, obviously.
Yeah. You guys as well. Best of luck. It's great warring with you guys again in midweek, and then now and here over the weekend. It's going to push us to 3-0. Hopefully, we'll see how we do next week. Good luck next. Who you guys playing next week?
I think it is. You even mentioned it earlier on. J-Off. That's it. Yeah.
No.
So going to be interesting to see how J-Off do in this war. So that's WHF have won that one, obviously against ourselves. Legacy looking in the driving seat most definitely against Omega. Could even get the perfect there. Clash Warriors and Crazy Monkey, absolutely insane war. Clash Warriors have gone ahead and
they
got the perfect.
Wow. Clash Warriors.
So they've got it done. And now, Crazy Monkey
attack.
have basically... Oh, they can't get it done, really, can they? Unless they get an 11v12. So it looks like Clash Warriors have got that one as well. Fantastic for Clash Warriors. Very happy for them. J off and Bye Forever. Still a very close war. That one is insane. You guys can obviously catch Lady B streaming the end of that one. 27 minutes left. Dark Leader Z got the victory over One Hive Genesis. And then Gehazi Bombers are still hunting for that final star. Much like Clash Warriors, only 1 star away from the perfect.
Yeah. Damn.
There we are then.
Wow.
I mean...
Yeah.
We might as well end it there. It's been great having you on. Thank you so much for having me on your stream as well. It's been great to just kind of, have a co-host there and bounce ideas off, have a bit of a chat about different things as well. It's been great.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for having me over on your stream, and hope everyone over there enjoyed it. Everyone on my stream enjoyed it as well. Kind of relaxing, even though it didn't come down to the very final hit, the final seconds, but still, nonetheless, it's still a lot of fun to cover them. So I had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And any of you guys that are still here on YouTube, I do appreciate the support. Make sure you pop in that search box. CarbonFin Gaming is bringing YouTube videos now as well, and obviously of the highest level, competing with WHF. So make sure you do drop him a sub and keep an eye for them awesome videos coming out. And obviously does stream across there on Twitch as well.
Yeah, so I usually stream pretty much almost every night around. If you're in the U.S., it's more favored to U.S. time zones of like 7:30 Central Standard Time. So usually around then, and then on the weekends as well for these wars. So it's a lot of fun. Enjoy it.
Awesome. Yeah, well, thanks for having me again on your stream, and hopefully we can do this again sometime. That is going to wrap it up, though.
Be in touch again. Yeah.
Definitely. WHF getting the victory. Good job to you guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one. See you later.
See you later, guys.